Hey everyone, before I get started, let me know if you'd like me to make a video on a specific topic. I'll do my best to make it happen. In the Hidden Leaf Village, the sun rose over the rooftops, casting a warm glow on the familiar landscape. The villagers were going about their morning routines, unaware of the storm brewing within the heart of one of their own. Naruto Uzumaki, the young ninja with dreams of becoming Hokage, had always felt different. But today, something within him stirred. It was the day of his training with Kakashi, and he could sense a change in the air, a shift that tingled in his very bones. As Naruto prepared for training, his mind raced with thoughts of his dreams, becoming Hokage, gaining recognition, and finally proving himself to everyone. But deep down, beneath the surface of his ambition, lay an untapped well of power, a potential he had yet to realize. Today would be different. After hastily devouring his breakfast, Naruto dashed out the door, his iconic orange jumpsuit flapping in the wind as he raced toward the training ground. His excitement bubbled over. He was determined to impress Kakashi and show everyone how strong he had become. He could hear the whispers of doubt from the villagers, but he pushed them aside, focusing solely on his goal. When he arrived at the training ground, he found Kakashi lounging against a tree, reading his beloved Icha Icha series. "You're late, Naruto," Kakashi said, glancing up with his usual nonchalant demeanor. "Sorry, I'm ready to train hard today," Naruto declared, clenching his fists. Kakashi nodded, setting his book aside. "All right, let's see how much you've improved. Show me your shadow clone jutsu." Naruto grinned and formed the hand signs with practiced ease. "Shadow clone jutsu," he shouted, and in a puff of smoke, dozens of clones appeared, each ready to follow their master's command. Kakashi observed with an approving nod. "Not bad. Now, let's see how well you can work together." The training session began, and Naruto, along with his clones, engaged in various exercises, honing their skills and tactics. For hours, they trained, Naruto's laughter and enthusiasm echoing through the forest. Yet, as the sun dipped lower in the sky, a strange feeling began to wash over him, a sense of restlessness. Feeling an inexplicable pull, Naruto ventured deeper into the forest, away from Kakashi's watchful eye. The trees grew denser, the light dimmer, as he walked until he stumbled upon a hidden clearing. In the center lay an ancient stone pedestal, weathered by time, adorned with intricate carvings that glimmered with a faint golden light. "What is this place?" he wondered aloud, stepping closer to inspect the pedestal. As he reached out to touch the stone, an overwhelming surge of energy coursed through him, sending him reeling back. Suddenly, a voice echoed in his mind, deep and commanding. "Who dares awaken me?" Naruto gasped, clutching his head. Who are you?" "I am Gilgamesh, the king of heroes. You have awakened my essence. Tell me, child, are you worthy of wielding my power?" The weight of the words settled on Naruto's shoulders. Worthy? He thought of his struggles, his determination to become stronger. "I want to be strong. I want to protect my friends and become Hokage. Then accept my power," Gilgamesh commanded, "and you shall wield the treasures of the gods." As Naruto nodded, the golden light enveloped him, seeping into his very being. Images flashed through his mind. Vast armies, legendary weapons, and the towering gate of Babylon, a gateway to a vast repository of divine artifacts. He felt the weight of knowledge and strength flood into him, awakening dormant abilities he had never dreamed of possessing. With the power of Gilgamesh coursing through him, Naruto's senses heightened. He felt invincible, as if he could take on the world. He closed his eyes, focusing on the newfound abilities. The power felt familiar, yet foreign, like an extension of himself. Suddenly, a burst of energy erupted from within, and Naruto instinctively raised his hand. Before him, a shimmering portal appeared, revealing a glimpse of the treasures he would soon command. As he gazed into the swirling abyss, a realization struck him. He could summon these legendary weapons and use them in battle. "Wow!" Naruto exclaimed, his excitement overwhelming. "This is amazing." As the portal flickered, Gilgamesh's voice resonated once more. "Use this power wisely, Naruto. The path of a king is not one of frivolity. You must be prepared for the challenges ahead. I will. Naruto promised, determination igniting within him. I'll become the strongest Hokage. With the bond between Naruto and Gilgamesh solidified, the clearing began to fade, returning him to the training ground where Kakashi awaited. The sun was setting, casting long shadows as Naruto stood before his sensei, a newfound confidence radiating from him. Kakashi raised an eyebrow, noticing the change in Naruto. You okay? You look different. I'm more than okay. I'm going to show you something incredible, Naruto declared, summoning a shimmering golden spear from the gate of Babylon. Kakashi's eyes widened in shock. Where did you get that? It's a long story. Watch this. Naruto gripped the spear tightly, channeling his chakra into it. With a swift motion, he hurled it at a nearby tree. The spear soared through the air, piercing the trunk effortlessly and leaving a glowing mark where it struck. Kakashi stood speechless, impressed by the power Naruto displayed. That's impressive. Where did you learn to do that? I don't know. I just felt it, Naruto replied, a wide grin stretching across his face. Kakashi crossed his arms, a thoughtful expression crossing his face. This changes things. With power like that, you'll need to train harder and focus. The responsibility that comes with such power is immense. I won't let you down, Kakashi. I'll become stronger than anyone, Naruto shouted, his heart racing with excitement. As they resumed training, the sun set behind the mountains, marking the dawn of a new chapter in Naruto's journey. He was no longer just a ninja, he was the vessel of a king, destined to wield divine power. But as he trained, a dark shadow loomed over the horizon, threats that would test his resolve and challenge the very fabric of his being. Unbeknownst to Naruto, the world of shinobi would never be the same again. As dawn broke over the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto awoke with renewed vigor, a thrill coursing through him. The memories of the previous day flooded back, and he couldn't help but smile. The power of Gilgamesh was more than just a dream. It was a reality that he could wield. Today would mark the beginning of a new phase in his training, one that would set him apart from his peers and draw him closer to his dream of becoming Hokage. He rushed through his morning routine, barely touching his breakfast before dashing out the door. The village seemed alive with a sense of energy, but Naruto's thoughts were solely on the training ground. What will I discover today? He wondered excitedly. Upon arriving at the training ground, he found Kakashi already there, reading his Icha book once again. This time, however, Naruto could see a flicker of curiosity in Kakashi's eye. He approached his sensei with an eager smile. Hey, Kakashi, I've got something I want to try today, Naruto declared, clenching his fists. Kakashi raised an eyebrow, closing his book. What's on your mind? I want to see how many weapons I can summon from the gate of Babylon. I've got so many ideas. Naruto's enthusiasm was infectious, and Kakashi couldn't help but feel intrigued. Alright then, show me what you can do, Kakashi replied, crossing his arms. Naruto closed his eyes, focusing on the bond he had formed with Gilgamesh. I need to harness this power fully, he thought. He imagined the vast expanse of the Gate of Babylon, picturing the countless treasures it held. With a surge of chakra, he extended his hand, and a portal shimmered to life in front of him. Summon, he shouted, and a barrage of weapons flew forth, a golden sword, a dazzling bow, and a multitude of shimmering spears rained down around him. Each weapon bore the mark of legends, echoing the tales of heroes long past. Kakashi's eyes widened as he observed the scene before him. Impressive. You've got a real arsenal there, Naruto. But remember, it's not just about the weapons. It's how you use them. Naruto nodded, determination etched on his face. Right? I want to master each one. Good. Then let's start with the basics, Kakashi said, gesturing toward a target dummy set up at the edge of the clearing. Show me your aim. With the golden bow materialized in his hands, Naruto took a deep breath. Focusing on the target, the string vibrated as he drew it back, channeling chakra into the arrow. He released, and the arrow shot forth, striking the dummy squarely in the chest. Nice shot, Kakashi praised, a hint of approval in his voice. Now, let's see if you can handle multiple targets. Naruto felt a rush of adrenaline. Okay, I can do this. He summoned 3 more arrows and lined them up, focusing intently. With a flurry of movements, he released them in rapid succession. They flew through the air, striking their marks with precision. Great work. But you need to be mindful of your surroundings, Kakashi advised. In battle, things won't always go your way. You'll need to adapt. Naruto nodded, his excitement only growing. Got it? I'll keep training until I can hit anything. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, they continued to train, experimenting with different weapons and techniques. Naruto felt invigorated, his confidence soaring with each successful summon. But with each burst of power came the underlying truth. The strength he now possessed came with responsibility. As the training session came to an end, Kakashi clapped Naruto on the shoulder. You've made significant progress. Naruto, I'm impressed. Just remember, it's not just about power, it's about how you use it. You'll face challenges ahead, and they won't be easy. Naruto looked up at Kakashi, a fire igniting in his eyes. I'm ready for anything. I won't let anyone down. Good, Kakashi replied, a rare smile breaking through his usual demeanor. Now go home and get some rest. You'll need it. Naruto headed home, his heart racing with excitement. This power is amazing. I can't wait to show everyone what I can do. As he walked through the village, he felt the familiar stares of the villagers. But today they seemed different. Instead of whispers of doubt, he sensed a glimmer of curiosity. He reached his home and flopped onto his bed, staring at the ceiling. The golden light of the gate of Babylon flashed through his mind, and he envisioned the treasures he could wield. I can protect everyone, and finally become Hokage. As night fell over the village, Naruto drifted into a deep sleep, his dreams filled with images of battles fought with legendary weapons and the acclaim of the villagers. But in the shadows, a different story was unfolding. Far from the Hidden Leaf Village, a group of ominous figures gathered, their eyes gleaming with malice. Among them stood Orochimaru, the notorious rogue ninja. So, the boy has awakened the power of Gilgamesh. This could be interesting, he mused, a sinister grin spreading across his face. Shall we pay him a visit? One of his subordinates suggested, a wicked gleam in his eyes. Not yet. Let him revel in his newfound strength. Soon enough, we will make our move, and he will learn the true cost of power, Orochimaru replied, his voice low and foreboding. Back in the village, Naruto slept soundly, oblivious to the danger lurking on the horizon. The peace he craved was fragile, and the world of shinobi was about to shift in ways he could never have imagined. The next day, as the sun rose over the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto awakened with a renewed sense of purpose. Today was not just another day. It was the beginning of a journey filled with challenges, friendships, and the exploration of a power that would define his destiny. Time to train harder, Naruto shouted, bursting out of bed and preparing for the day ahead. As he made his way to the training ground, he could already feel the anticipation building within him. Each day was an opportunity to grow stronger, and with the power of Gilgamesh at his fingertips, he knew he could reach new heights. He envisioned the day when he would stand at the top, recognized as the greatest Hokage the village had ever known. But challenges awaited him, and the road ahead was fraught with peril. Would he be able to navigate the complexities of his newfound power and confront the enemies lurking in the shadows? The answers would come in time. But for now, Naruto was ready to seize the day. With the sun rising over the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto was filled with determination. After the exhilarating events of the previous day, he felt an insatiable hunger for strength, and today, he would push his limits even further. He imagined the day when he would finally earn the respect of his peers and achieve his dream of becoming Hokage. Upon reaching the training ground, Naruto found Sakura and Sasuke already waiting. They were engaged in a discussion, and as Naruto approached, he could see the competitive spirit in their eyes. Hey, guys, Naruto called, waving enthusiastically. Ready to train? Sakura turned to him, a smile gracing her face. Naruto, you're just in time. We were just talking about how we can improve our teamwork. Sasuke, leaning against a tree with his arms crossed, raised an eyebrow. Teamwork is important, but you should also focus on your individual strength. You're not getting stronger just by relying on your clones. Naruto puffed out his chest, a smirk forming on his lips. Oh yeah? Well, I've got something that'll surprise you both. He concentrated, summoning a golden sword from the gate of Babylon. The blade shimmered in the sunlight, radiating an aura of power that made both Sakura and Sasuke take a step back. Wow! Sakura exclaimed, her eyes wide. Where did you get that? It's a secret. Naruto said, a cheeky grin plastered across his face. But just know I'm stronger than ever now. Sasuke narrowed his eyes, intrigued yet wary. Show me what you can do with it. Okay. Watch this. Naruto shouted, gripping the hilt tightly. He charged forward, swinging the sword with newfound confidence. With a swift motion, he aimed for a nearby tree, and with a single strike, the blade cleaved through it effortlessly. Sasuke's eyes widened slightly, a hint of respect creeping into his demeanor. That's impressive, but can you keep up with me in a real fight? Naruto's competitive spirit flared. Of course I can. Let's do this. All right, Sasuke said, dropping into a combat stance. Let's see if you can hit me. As they squared off, Naruto felt the rush of adrenaline coursing through him. He could sense the intensity in Sasuke's gaze, the rivalry igniting their competitive natures. Here I come. Naruto shouted, lunging forward with the golden sword raised high. Sasuke deftly dodged, using his agility to evade the strike. You're fast, but you'll have to do better than that, he taunted, using his Sharingan to predict Naruto's movements. Naruto grinned, fueled by the challenge. You bet. He quickly summoned several shadow clones, each armed with a weapon from the Gate of Babylon. Let's see how you handle this. The clones surged forward, launching a coordinated attack. Sasuke moved with grace, using his agility to evade their strikes. But Naruto was relentless. He swung the golden sword with precision, aiming to outmaneuver his rival. Sakura watched, her heart racing as the two boys clashed. She had never seen Naruto so focused, so driven. You both need to be careful, she shouted, concern creeping into her voice. Naruto, in the heat of battle, brushed off her warning. I've got this, he yelled, focusing all his chakra into the sword for a powerful strike. But just as he was about to land a blow, Sasuke used a burst of speed, dodging and counter-attacking with a swift kick that sent Naruto tumbling to the ground. You've got to think ahead, Naruto, he taunted, standing over him. Sakura rushed to Naruto's side, helping him to his feet. Are you okay? She asked, concern etched on her face. Yeah? I'm fine. Naruto replied, brushing off the dirt. He could feel the competitive energy swirling between him and Sasuke. But this only fueled his determination. Let's try again, Sasuke suggested, a smirk playing on his lips. I'll go easy on you this time. Don't underestimate me. Naruto shouted, summoning even more clones and preparing for another round. The training continued, with Naruto and Sasuke pushing each other to their limits. With each clash, Naruto felt the weight of Gilgamesh's power surging within him, guiding his movements and sharpening his instincts. But he also realized that it was not just about power, it was about strategy and teamwork. After an exhausting session, they finally took a break, panting and sweating under the midday sun. Sakura handed them each a water bottle, her eyes gleaming with admiration. You both did great. It's incredible to see how much you've improved. Sasuke nodded, his expression serious. But we still have a long way to go. This training is just the beginning. Naruto grinned, invigorated by the challenge. I can't wait to get stronger. Let's do this again tomorrow. As they prepared to leave, a figure emerged from the shadows, catching their attention. It was Rock Lee, his usual exuberance radiating from him. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, he called out, running towards them with an infectious energy. I heard you were training. Can I join? Of course. Lee? The more, the merrier. Naruto replied, excited at the thought of training with his friends. Thank you. I've been looking to improve my own skills, and seeing you all train has motivated me. Lee said, determination lighting up his eyes. Sasuke raised an eyebrow. Just don't get in the way. All right? Lee nodded eagerly. I promise? I'll work harder than ever. As the group dispersed, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that something significant was about to happen. With the power of Gilgamesh within him, he felt ready to face any challenge. But he also sensed that with newfound power came new responsibilities and rivalries that would shape his journey. That night, Naruto lay in bed, contemplating the day's events. His mind wandered back to the sparring session with Sasuke. The thrill of competition igniting a fire within him. I'll show him. I'll prove that I can stand at the top. But amidst the excitement, he couldn't ignore the lurking presence he sensed on the horizon. The world of shinobi was filled with dangers, and he had only just begun to scratch the surface of the power he wielded. Would he be able to navigate the challenges ahead? The following day, the sun rose bright and clear, signaling the start of a new adventure. As Naruto prepared for another day of training, he felt the weight of Gilgamesh's power within him, urging him onward. Today, he would delve deeper into his abilities, explore the treasures he could summon, and prepare for the inevitable confrontations with rivals and enemies alike. The journey to becoming Hokage was just beginning, and Naruto Uzumaki was determined to rise above all challenges. The sun was shining brightly over the Hidden Leaf Village as Naruto began his day, a sense of purpose driving him forward. He felt the power of Gilgamesh coursing through his veins, infusing him with a new sense of determination. Today, he planned to further explore the treasures of the Gate of Babylon, seeking to master the weapons and abilities he had barely begun to understand. After a quick breakfast, Naruto rushed out of his home, his mind racing with possibilities. What new weapons will I summon today? He wondered. Excitement bubbling within him. He envisioned the golden swords and divine artifacts waiting for him, each one a tool that would help him become stronger. Upon arriving at the training ground, he found Sakura already practicing her chakra control, and Sasuke was sharpening his skills with a shuriken. The moment they noticed him, their expressions shifted to one of curiosity. What's the plan today, Naruto? Sakura asked, pausing in her training. I want to summon some new weapons and train with them. I'm ready to push my limits. Naruto exclaimed, eyes sparkling with excitement. Sasuke glanced at him, a smirk on his face. You think you can just summon weapons and expect to be stronger? You'll have to train your techniques as well. Yeah, I know that. But with these weapons, I can train even harder. Naruto replied, determined to prove himself. All right. Then, show us what you've got. Sasuke challenged. Ready to observe. Naruto closed his eyes, focusing his chakra as he summoned the Gate of Babylon. Summon, he shouted, and a dazzling array of weapons emerged from the portal. Swords, spears, and shields of all shapes and sizes glimmered in the sunlight. Whoa! Sakura gasped, awed by the sheer variety. That's incredible. Which one are you going to try first? I think I'll start with this one, Naruto declared, grabbing a sword that sparkled with a radiant golden light. The hilt felt warm in his hands, and he could sense the history behind it, the battles fought and the warriors who had wielded it. He took a stance, imagining the movements of the legendary warriors who had once wielded this weapon. With a swift motion, he slashed at the air, feeling the weight and balance of the blade. Not bad, Sasuke acknowledged, nodding in approval. But can you combine your chakra with the weapon? Naruto pondered for a moment, then nodded vigorously. Right? I'll give it a shot. He focused his chakra, channeling it into the sword. As he did, the blade glowed brighter, radiating energy. He swung it down with all his might, the force of the attack creating a shockwave that sent dust and debris flying. Nice. Sakura cheered, clapping her hands. You're really getting the hang of it. Sasuke, however, was still calculating. Just be careful not to overexert yourself. You don't want to exhaust your chakra too quickly. Yeah, I know. But this power feels amazing, Naruto exclaimed, his confidence soaring. The three of them trained together for the next several hours, each honing their skills. Sasuke demonstrated the effectiveness of his Sharingan while Sakura practiced her medical ninjutsu. And Naruto continued to summon various weapons from the Gate of Babylon, experimenting with different techniques. Suddenly, they heard a commotion nearby. Curious, they made their way toward the source of the noise. As they approached, they discovered a crowd gathered around a clearing. What's going on? Naruto asked, peering over the heads of the villagers. Something's happening, a villager shouted. It looks like a new team is coming into town. Naruto's interest peaked. A new team? Who are they? Just then, two figures stepped into the clearing. One was a tall, muscular boy with wild hair and an air of confidence, while the other was a girl with long hair and an aura of grace. Naruto could sense the strength radiating from both of them, and the crowd murmured with excitement. The boy raised his hand, a wide grin on his face. What's up? Hidden Leaf. We've come to challenge your best ninjas. Who are you? Sakura asked, stepping forward. I'm Kiba Inuzuka. And this is my partner, Hinata Hyuga. We've heard a lot about this village and want to test our skills. Kiba's boldness was infectious, and Naruto felt a spark of rivalry igniting within him. Challenge accepted, he shouted, stepping forward. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and I'll show you what we've got. Sasuke smirked, intrigued by the challenge. We'll see how strong you really are. Let's have a friendly spar. Kiba suggested, his excitement palpable. How about one-on-one matches? Naruto nodded vigorously. I'm ready. Who wants to go first? Sasuke stepped forward, ready to face Kiba. I'll fight him. Let's see what he's made of. As they squared off, Naruto and Sakura took a step back to observe. Kiba and Sasuke moved quickly, their bodies fluid and agile as they exchanged blows. Kiba was quick, using his instincts and agility to dodge Sasuke's strikes. But Sasuke's Sharingan allowed him to anticipate Kiba's movements. The crowd watched in awe as the two ninjas battled fiercely, exchanging blows and strategizing in real time. Naruto felt the thrill of competition in the air, and he couldn't help but cheer for Sasuke. Go, Sasuke! He shouted, feeling the adrenaline pumping through him. With a final surge of speed, Sasuke executed a well-timed kick, knocking Kiba off balance. But just as Sasuke prepared to follow up, Kiba called upon his clan's jutsu, summoning a massive dog-like creature that barreled toward Sasuke. Whoa! Naruto exclaimed, surprised by the sudden turn of events. Sasuke deftly dodged the attack, but Kiba capitalized on the moment, launching a series of strikes that tested Sasuke's defenses. The battle raged on, each ninja pushing the other to their limits. Eventually, Kiba managed to land a solid hit, knocking Sasuke to the ground. The crowd erupted into cheers as Kiba raised his fist in victory. Not bad, Kiba said, breathing heavily but grinning from ear to ear. You got some skills. Sasuke stood up, brushing off the dirt. You got talent, Kiba. But don't think I'll go easy on you next time. Naruto stepped forward, his heart racing. All right. My turn. I'm ready to take you on. Kiba grinned, eager for another match. Let's see what you've got, Naruto. As they squared off, Naruto felt the power of Gilgamesh surging within him, ready to unleash the weapons at his disposal. You're going to regret challenging me, he shouted, summoning the golden sword once more. As the fight began, Naruto lunged forward, swinging the blade with all his might. The clash of their energies filled the clearing, and Naruto felt the thrill of battle as he fought with everything he had. But as the fight wore on, he realized that Kiba was no pushover. His speed and instinctive fighting style kept Naruto on his toes, forcing him to think strategically. Just as Naruto was about to land a decisive blow, Kiba countered with a fierce attack, knocking Naruto back and sending him crashing into a nearby tree. Whoa! Are you alright? Sakura shouted, rushing forward. Yeah, I'm fine, Naruto replied, gritting his teeth as he stood up. I've got more in me. With renewed determination, he summoned a series of clones, each wielding different weapons from the Gate of Babylon. Let's turn up the heat. The battle escalated, the clearing filled with the sounds of clashing weapons and fierce shouts. Naruto and Kiba pushed each other to their limits, both refusing to back down. The crowd watched in awe, cheering them on as they witnessed the clash of raw talent and tenacity. Finally, with a powerful strike from his golden sword, Naruto managed to catch Kiba off guard, knocking him down and claiming victory. Breathing heavily, both boys stood up, exchanging exhausted smiles. "You got some skills, Naruto," Kiba admitted, shaking Naruto's hand. "That was an awesome fight." "Thanks. You're pretty strong too," Naruto replied, feeling the rush of victory. As they caught their breath, Sasuke and Sakura joined them, the bond of camaraderie strengthening among the four of them. "You guys are amazing," Sakura cheered, her eyes sparkling. "I can't believe how well you fought." Just then, a shadow loomed over them, and they turned to see Hinata standing there, her expression shy but encouraging. "You all did really well. I enjoyed watching." "Thanks, Hinata," Naruto replied, a friendly grin spreading across his face. "You're welcome to join us for training anytime." As they exchanged friendly banter, the atmosphere shifted. The villagers whispered among themselves, and the presence of the new team in the village brought a fresh sense of energy and rivalry that Naruto had longed for. But amidst the excitement, Naruto felt a lingering sense of foreboding. He could sense something brewing in the shadows, and the challenges of the future were looming closer. The world of shinobi was a dangerous one, and Naruto knew that with every new ally came new enemies. As the day turned to dusk, Naruto reflected on the battles he had fought and the bonds he had formed. With the power of Gilgamesh at his fingertips, he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The path to becoming Hokage was long, but with friends by his side and strength within him, he was determined to forge his destiny. The sun rose over the Hidden Leaf village, casting a warm glow on the bustling streets. Excitement filled the air as whispers spread about the upcoming Chunin exams, an event that would draw competitors from all over the Land of Fire. For Naruto, this was a pivotal moment, a chance to prove his strength, not only to his village but to himself. As he prepared for the day, Naruto felt the power of Gilgamesh coursing through him, and he couldn't help but wonder what new treasures awaited him within the gate of Babylon. "This is my chance," he exclaimed to himself, grinning as he envisioned the challenges and opportunities that lay ahead. Arriving at the training ground, he was greeted by his friends, Sakura, Sasuke, Kiba, and Hinata, who were discussing their strategies for the upcoming exams. Naruto joined them, feeling the familiar camaraderie. "Hey, everyone, are you ready for the Chunin exams?" Naruto asked, his enthusiasm palpable. Kiba pumped his fist. "I can't wait. This is our chance to show everyone how strong we are." Sakura nodded, her expression serious. "We need to prepare ourselves. The exams will be tough, and we'll face powerful opponents." Sasuke crossed his arms, his eyes focused. "We have to be strategic. It's not just about raw power. We need to work as a team." Hinata chimed in, her voice soft yet determined. "I believe in us. If we work together, we can make it through." Naruto felt a surge of confidence. "We'll do great together. We're unstoppable." He summoned a sword from the gate of Babylon, the golden blade gleaming in the sunlight. "Let's train hard and make sure we're ready." As they began their training session, Naruto focused on mastering the use of his new weapons while also honing his chakra control. He practiced various techniques, combining his traditional ninja skills with the power of Gilgamesh. Sasuke and Kiba engaged in their own sparring matches, pushing each other to their limits, while Sakura practiced her medical jutsu and Hinata worked on her gentle fist technique. The atmosphere was electric, filled with determination and the promise of competition. Hours passed, and as the sun dipped lower in the sky, Naruto gathered his friends to discuss their strategies for the upcoming exams. "Okay, so what's the plan?" he asked, eager to hear their thoughts. Sasuke leaned forward. "The first stage of the Chunin exams will be a written test. It's designed to test our intelligence and teamwork. We'll need to stay focused and communicate effectively." Kiba scratched his head. "Written tests? That sounds boring. I'm ready to fight." Sakura smiled, trying to ease Kiba's impatience. "We'll have plenty of time for that in the later stages. For now, we need to work on our strategy for the test." Hinata added, "We should also think about how to support each other. If one of us struggles, we can help each other out." Naruto nodded vigorously. "Right? And if things get tough, we can always use our strengths to our advantage." With their plans in place, they wrapped up their training for the day. As they parted ways, Naruto felt a mix of excitement and nerves bubbling within him. The Chunin exams were not only a chance to prove his strength but also a test of his character and determination. The day of the Chunin exams arrived, and the Hidden Leaf village was bustling with activity. Ninjas from various villages gathered, showcasing their unique abilities and talents. The arena was filled with spectators, and the air was charged with anticipation. Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, Kiba, and Hinata stood together at the entrance, ready to face the challenges ahead. "This is it," Naruto exclaimed, his heart racing. "Let's show everyone what we've got." As they entered the examination hall, they were greeted by the proctor, a stern-looking man with a clipboard. "Welcome to the Chunin exams. You will be taking a written test to assess your intelligence and teamwork. There will be no talking, and any cheating will result in immediate disqualification." The rules were clear, and Naruto felt a wave of nerves wash over him. "A written test? I'm not good at this kind of stuff," he thought, anxiety creeping in. Sakura noticed his expression. "Don't worry, Naruto. Just do your best. We'll help each other out if needed." With that encouragement, they took their seats, and the test began. As the questions appeared on the paper, Naruto struggled to focus. He glanced at the others, noticing Sasuke's intense concentration and Sakura's focused determination. "Think, Naruto," he muttered to himself, forcing himself to read the questions carefully. "If I can just get through this, I'll show everyone my true strength." As the minutes ticked away, Naruto tried his best to answer the questions, but he felt overwhelmed. Suddenly, he remembered the strategic discussions they had during training. He looked around at his friends, who were diligently writing. He noticed Kiba looking frustrated, glancing at his paper with confusion. With a quick decision, Naruto leaned over. "Kiba, if you need help, just follow my lead," he whispered, passing him a note with some hints. Kiba grinned, appreciating the support. "Thanks, Naruto. You're the best." As the test continued, Naruto whispered tips to Kiba and shared ideas with Sakura, working together to ensure they all passed. The minutes felt like hours, but with teamwork, they made it through the written portion. When the test finally ended, the proctor collected the papers, and Naruto exhaled a sigh of relief. "I can't believe we made it," Sasuke smirked, his confidence unshaken. "We did well. Now let's prepare for the next stage." As they exited the hall, the atmosphere shifted. A sense of tension hung in the air as they observed the various ninja from other villages, their eyes filled with ambition and determination. Suddenly, they overheard a group of ninjas from the Sand Village talking about their strength. "Those Leaf Village ninjas don't stand a chance against us," one of them boasted, a smug grin on his face. Naruto's competitive spirit flared. "We'll show them. I'm not afraid of anyone." As the day progressed, they faced various challenges, including a survival test in the forest where they had to retrieve a specific item while avoiding traps and other competitors. With each challenge, Naruto felt himself growing stronger, honing his abilities with the treasures of Gilgamesh. As night fell, they set up camp in the forest, exhausted but exhilarated from the day's events. They shared stories and laughter around a small fire, the bond between them growing stronger. "Tomorrow is going to be even tougher," Sasuke warned, his expression serious. "We need to stay focused and work together." Naruto nodded, feeling a sense of unity among them. "We'll face any challenge that comes our way. Together, we're unstoppable." As they prepared to sleep, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that the Chunin exams were just the beginning of a much greater adventure. With the power of Gilgamesh by his side and the support of his friends, he felt ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. But deep within him, a sense of foreboding lingered. He could sense a storm brewing on the horizon, and the trials of the Chunin exams would only be the first step in a much larger journey. The morning sun cast golden rays through the leaves of the forest of death, illuminating the vibrant green foliage and creating an atmosphere of quiet tension. As Naruto and his friends gathered at the designated meeting point, they could feel the weight of the upcoming challenges ahead. Today, they would face the second phase of the Chunin exams, a survival test that would truly test their teamwork, strategy, and resolve. "Are you all ready for this?" Naruto asked, trying to instill confidence in his teammates. He summoned a small dagger from the gate of Babylon, its golden sheen glinting in the sunlight. "We've trained hard for this." Sakura smiled, appreciating Naruto's enthusiasm. "Let's stick together and watch each other's backs." Sasuke nodded, his expression serious. "This test will be tough. We need to keep our wits about us and be aware of our surroundings." Kiba grinned, eager for the action. "I can't wait to see what's in store." "Bring it on." Hinata, standing quietly but resolutely, added, "Let's do our best together." As the proctor explained the rules of the Forest of Death, the teams were instructed to retrieve 2 scrolls, one Heaven Scroll and one Earth Scroll, from different parts of the forest. They had to work together while navigating the dangers that lurked in the shadows. Once the briefing was over, the teams were released into the forest. As Naruto and his friends entered, the atmosphere shifted. The sounds of rustling leaves and distant animal calls created an eerie sense of anticipation. "Stay close," Sasuke instructed, leading the way. "We need to find our scroll quickly and keep an eye out for other teams." The group moved cautiously, their senses heightened as they navigated the dense foliage. Naruto felt a thrill of excitement mixed with trepidation. "This is it. Time to show what we can do." After a short while, they stumbled upon a clearing filled with traps and hidden dangers. "Looks like we've found trouble," Kiba said, his nose twitching as he sensed the air around them. "Stay alert," Sakura warned, her eyes scanning the area. There could be other teams nearby. Suddenly, they heard a rustling in the bushes. Without warning, a group of 3 ninjas from the Sound Village burst into the clearing, their eyes gleaming with determination. Well, what do we have here?" One of them sneered, a sinister smile on his face. "Another team from the Leaf Village. This is perfect." Naruto clenched his fists, adrenaline surging through him. "We're not backing down. We'll fight." Sasuke stepped forward, ready for battle. "We need to take them down quickly. They might have the scroll we need." The confrontation began, and Naruto felt the weight of Gilgamesh's power as he summoned his golden sword. The weapon felt familiar in his grip, and he charged forward, launching a series of strikes. Kiba joined him, summoning his ninkin, Akamaru, who growled fiercely as they prepared to engage the enemy. "Let's show them what we're made of." As Naruto clashed with one of the Sound Ninjas, he felt a rush of energy flowing through him. He swung his sword with precision, using his agility to dodge incoming attacks. His movements were fluid, a dance of power and grace. Sakura supported them from behind, launching shuriken and using her medical jutsu to reinforce her teammates' defenses. "Stay focused, guys. We can do this." The battle raged on, and despite their initial surprise, the Leaf team quickly gained the upper hand. Sasuke activated his Sharingan, allowing him to anticipate the movements of his opponents. With swift precision, he countered their attacks, disarming one of the Sound Ninjas. "Let's finish this," Naruto shouted, determination burning in his eyes. He summoned a barrage of weapons from the gate of Babylon, each one striking with deadly accuracy. "I won't let you take our scroll." With a final powerful strike, Naruto incapacitated the last of the Sound Ninjas, leaving them sprawled on the forest floor. Panting heavily, he turned to his teammates, a triumphant smile on his face. "We did it," Sasuke nodded, his expression serious as he glanced around. "But we need to keep moving. They might not be the only ones after our scroll." As they continued their search, the team worked seamlessly together, each member playing to their strengths. Kiba used his keen sense of smell to track the scent of the Heaven Scroll, while Hinata employed her Byakugan to scout for danger. Suddenly, they stumbled upon a small cave, its entrance partially concealed by thick vines. "I can sense something inside," Kiba said, his instincts kicking in. "It might be worth checking out." Sasuke agreed, his eyes narrowed. "Let's be cautious. We don't know what's waiting for us in there." As they entered the cave, the air grew cool and damp. The walls were lined with crystals that sparkled in the low light. In the center of the cave lay a small chest, definitely not what they expected to find. Could this be it? Sakura asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. Naruto stepped forward, his heart racing. "Let's see." As he reached for the chest, a low growl echoed through the cave. From the shadows emerged a massive creature, a forest guardian, its eyes glowing menacingly. "This is bad," Kiba shouted, readying himself for a fight. "We have to defend ourselves. Everyone. Together," Sasuke commanded. As they took their positions, Naruto summoned a weapon from the Gate of Babylon, choosing a large spear this time. "I'll distract it. You guys attack from the sides." With that, he charged at the creature, thrusting the spear forward. The guardian roared in fury, swiping at him with its massive claws. Naruto ducked and dodged, using his agility to evade the attacks. Sasuke and Kiba flanked the creature, launching their own assaults. Sakura stayed back, preparing to use her medical jutsu to heal any injuries they might sustain. The battle was fierce, and the guardian fought with relentless strength. But Naruto's determination never wavered. He combined his attacks with the power of Gilgamesh, channeling energy into his strikes. With a final surge of power, Naruto summoned a series of weapons, overwhelming the guardian with a flurry of strikes. The creature roared one last time before collapsing. Defeated, panting heavily, Naruto stood victorious, feeling the adrenaline coursing through him. "We did it," he shouted, turning to his teammates. Sasuke nodded, impressed. "Good job, Naruto. Now let's see what's in that chest." Carefully, they opened the chest to reveal the heaven scroll inside. Cheers erupted among them as they celebrated their hard-earned victory. "Now we just need to find the earth scroll," Sakura said, beaming with pride. "We can do this." With newfound determination, they continued their journey through the forest of death, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As they navigated deeper into the forest, Naruto felt the weight of the scroll in his hand, a symbol of their hard work and teamwork. The bond between them had grown stronger, and he knew that with each challenge they faced, they were one step closer to their goal. But as they ventured further, a shadow loomed over them. Unbeknownst to Naruto, dark forces were gathering, plotting their next move. The trials of the Chunin exams were only just beginning, and the real tests awaited them in the darkness. As Naruto and his team pressed deeper into the forest of death, the atmosphere shifted. The once vibrant foliage began to thicken, casting eerie shadows that danced in the dim light. The excitement of their recent victory over the forest guardian was still fresh, but a palpable tension hung in the air, warning them that danger lurked nearby. "Stay close together," Sasuke instructed, his voice low and serious. "We've made too much noise already. We can't afford to be caught off guard." Kiba nodded, his ninkin, Akamaru, alert and on guard. "Right? We've got the scroll, but we need the earth scroll too. Let's keep moving." With renewed determination, they pressed on, their senses heightened as they navigated through the twisting trees and tangled underbrush. As they walked, the sounds of the forest enveloped them, chirping insects, rustling leaves, and distant animal calls. Yet, amidst those natural sounds, Naruto could feel an underlying sense of foreboding. "Do you guys feel that?" Naruto asked, glancing around at his friends. "It's like we're being watched." "I noticed it too," Hinata said softly, her Byakugan activated. "I can see movement in the trees, but it's too far away to identify." Before they could discuss further, a loud crash echoed through the forest, followed by a series of furious growls. The group instinctively readied themselves for an encounter. "Let's check it out," Naruto said, adrenaline surging. It could be another team or something else. They rushed towards the source of the noise, pushing through the undergrowth. As they reached a clearing, they were met with a shocking sight. A team of 3 ninjas from the Rain Village, engaged in a fierce battle against a giant, snake-like creature. The creature, a massive serpent with gleaming scales, writhed and struck at the Rain Ninjas, who fought desperately to defend themselves. "What the hell is that?" Kiba exclaimed, eyes wide in disbelief. "It looks like a summoned beast," Sasuke observed, narrowing his gaze. "But it's too powerful for those ninjas to handle on their own. Should we help them?" Sakura asked, her heart pounding with concern. "Help them?" Naruto echoed, frowning. "They're our rivals. What if they turn on us?" Sasuke considered for a moment. "If we let them die, it could create more enemies for us. Plus, the scroll might be in their possession." Naruto hesitated but felt a surge of determination. Fine. We'll help them. But let's be careful. The team sprang into action. Hey, you guys. Naruto shouted, catching the attention of the rain ninjas. We're here to help. Focus on distracting it while we take it down. The ninjas glanced at each other. Surprise evident in their expressions. You really want to help us? One of them asked skeptically. Yeah? Just don't get in our way. Naruto replied, summoning a sword from the gate of Babylon. The golden weapon gleamed, reflecting the light filtering through the trees. With a newfound sense of unity, Naruto and his team charged at the serpent, dodging its lethal strikes. The rain ninjas followed suit, using their jutsu to distract the creature. As the battle commenced, Naruto coordinated with Sasuke, combining their attacks. Sasuke, now! Naruto shouted, throwing his sword towards the creature's head. Sasuke leapt into the air, using his Sharingan to anticipate the serpent's movements. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. He shouted, releasing a massive fireball that struck the serpent's side. The creature roared in pain, thrashing wildly. Kiba and Orochimaru took advantage of its disorientation, darting in to strike at its vulnerable spots. Let's finish this. Kiba shouted, launching a barrage of kunai at the serpent's eyes. Sakura focused her chakra, preparing her medical jutsu. I'll heal anyone who gets hurt. Just stay focused, she called out. With their combined efforts, the serpent's defenses began to falter. The rain ninjas worked alongside them, utilizing their water-based jutsu to bind the creature, making it easier for Naruto and Sasuke to land their hits. Gilgamesh's power. Lend me your strength. Naruto shouted, channeling energy into a massive sword. He leapt into the air, descending with a powerful strike that pierced through the serpent's scales. With a final, anguished roar, the serpent collapsed to the ground, defeated. Panting heavily, the group stood in a circle, catching their breath as the dust settled. Thanks for the help, one of the rain ninjas said, his expression a mix of surprise and gratitude. We couldn't have done it without you. Naruto nodded, still catching his breath. No problem. But we should keep moving. We still need to find the Earth Scroll. As they turned to leave, a low growl echoed through the trees. Instantly, the air thickened with tension as another group emerged from the shadows. This time, a team of ninjas from the Sound Village. Well, what do we have here? The leader sneered, eyeing both teams with malicious intent. Two teams standing in our way? This will be fun. Naruto's eyes narrowed as he prepared to fight. We're not backing down. Sasuke gripped his kunai tightly, ready for the confrontation. Let's show them what we're made of. As the Sound ninjas charged, Naruto felt the energy of Gilgamesh within him, igniting his resolve. Let's do this. The battle erupted, each side clashing in a flurry of attacks. The rain ninjas fought alongside Naruto's team, creating an unexpected alliance against their common foes. With each strike, Naruto felt the power of the Gate of Babylon surging through him, granting him the strength to hold his ground. He summoned weapons with precision, using them to defend against incoming attacks while launching counter-offensive strikes. Sasuke and Kiba worked seamlessly together, coordinating their jutsu to overpower the Sound ninjas. Kiba, let's flank them. Sasuke commanded, using his Sharingan to track their movements. Kiba barked back. Right. Orochimaru, let's go. They darted around, creating distractions while the rest of the team focused on taking down their enemies. The battle was intense, and as the skirmish raged on, Naruto found himself at the center of the conflict. He felt a surge of adrenaline, the thrill of battle igniting his spirit. I won't let you take our scroll, he shouted, summoning an array of weapons from the Gate of Babylon, each one striking with deadly accuracy. With a final, determined effort, Naruto charged at the remaining Sound ninjas, unleashing a powerful barrage of attacks. The combination of teamwork, strategy, and Gilgamesh's power overwhelmed their foes. As the dust settled, the Sound ninjas lay defeated, their malicious laughter replaced by silence. The alliance with the rain ninjas had proven successful, but they couldn't linger. Let's get out of here before more enemies show up, one of the rain ninjas suggested, glancing nervously at the trees around them. Naruto nodded, his heart still racing from the battle. Right? We need to find that Earth Scroll. With their combined efforts, Naruto's team and the Rain Ninjas continued their journey through the Forest of Death, forging a temporary alliance that would help them overcome the dangers ahead. As they navigated deeper into the forest, Naruto felt a renewed sense of purpose. The bonds of friendship and teamwork had grown stronger, but he couldn't shake the feeling that more formidable challenges awaited them. The Chunin exams were far from over, and the path ahead would test their resolve in ways they never anticipated. The group moved swiftly through the Forest of Death, their senses alert to any signs of danger. As they traveled, Naruto could feel the camaraderie between his team and the Rain Ninjas growing stronger. United by their recent battle, the tension from before had begun to dissipate, replaced by a shared determination to succeed. Let's split up to cover more ground, Sasuke suggested, glancing around the dense undergrowth. We can regroup after an hour. Keep an eye out for any enemies. Kiba nodded enthusiastically. I'll go with Naruto. Orochimaru and I can sniff out any scrolls in the area. Hinata, Sakura, you two stick together, Sasuke instructed. And I'll go with the Rain team. We'll meet back here in an hour. The plan was set, and they quickly took off in different directions, each group scanning their surroundings for any signs of the Earth Scroll. As Naruto and Kiba moved through the underbrush, the thrill of adventure coursed through Naruto's veins. I can't believe we fought that serpent and those sound ninjas. This is what being a shinobi is all about, he exclaimed, his eyes shining with excitement. Kiba grinned, his eyes sparkling with adrenaline. Yeah. And now we just need to find that scroll. I can smell something nearby. Naruto focused, channeling his chakra to enhance his senses. He could feel the energy of the forest surrounding them, a blend of life and danger. Let's follow your nose then. As they pressed deeper into the forest, the air grew heavier, thick with the scent of earth and damp leaves. Suddenly, Orochimaru began to bark. His ears perked up as he sensed something ahead. Over there. Kiba pointed, and they quickly approached a clearing where they found a small shrine covered in vines. At its base lay a weathered, ancient scroll that radiated a faint aura. Could this be it? Naruto wondered aloud, excitement bubbling within him. Let's grab it, Kiba said, moving forward cautiously. Just as Kiba reached for the scroll, the ground trembled, and a figure emerged from the shadows. A lone ninja clad in dark clothing, their face obscured by a mask. Stop right there, the ninja commanded, eyes glinting with intent. That scroll belongs to us. Naruto instinctively summoned a weapon from the gate of Babylon, his golden sword glinting ominously. We found it first. You'll have to go through us, Kiba growled, his instincts kicking in as he prepared for battle. You're not taking anything from us. The mysterious ninja smirked, unfazed by their defiance. Very well. Let's see if you're worthy of that scroll. With that, the battle erupted. The lone ninja was agile, dodging their attacks with surprising speed. Kiba launched Orochimaru at the enemy, but the ninja evaded easily, countering with a barrage of shuriken. Watch out! Naruto shouted, creating a shield with his sword to block the incoming projectiles. We need to work together. Kiba nodded, summoning his ninken once more. Let's go, Orochimaru. Use your agility. As they fought, Naruto felt the energy of Gilgamesh surging through him. He summoned multiple weapons, launching them at the ninja in a flurry of golden light. Each strike felt powerful and precise, but the enemy continued to evade. Damn! This guy is fast, Kiba shouted, frustration creeping into his voice. We need to pin him down. Naruto focused, drawing on the power within him. I'll create an opening. Kiba, be ready. With a burst of chakra, Naruto summoned a massive sword, launching it directly at the ninja. As the enemy dodged, Kiba seized the opportunity, charging forward with Orochimaru. Let's go, Kiba shouted, launching a coordinated attack. Orochimaru bit down on the ninja's leg, and Kiba delivered a powerful kick, sending the opponent sprawling. With their enemy temporarily incapacitated, Naruto and Kiba moved in for the finishing blow. Now, Naruto yelled, channeling his chakra into one final weapon, a spear that glowed with energy. As they struck, The enemy vanished in a puff of smoke, revealing a log in their place. Substitution technique. Kiba exclaimed, realizing they had been tricked. Stay alert. Naruto warned, scanning their surroundings. But before they could react, the ninja reappeared from behind them, launching a wave of wind blades. Watch out! Kiba shouted, pushing Naruto out of the way as he dodged the attack. This guy isn't playing around. Naruto gritted his teeth, determination igniting within him. We can't let him get away. We need that scroll. Just then, the rain ninjas reappeared, having heard the commotion. We sensed a fight. One of them called out, readying their jutsu. What's going on? Help us. Kiba shouted, his eyes focused on the lone ninja. He's trying to take our scroll. The rain ninjas quickly joined the fray, launching their own jutsu to distract the enemy. Water style. Water prison jutsu. One of them shouted, forming a sphere of water that trapped the ninja momentarily. Now's our chance. Naruto yelled, summoning a barrage of weapons from the Gate of Babylon. Let's finish this. With a flurry of strikes, they overwhelmed the trapped ninja, their combined efforts proving too much. The ninja finally fell, defeated and gasping for breath. Who are you? Naruto demanded, standing over the fallen foe. Why were you after the scroll? The ninja chuckled weakly, a glint of admiration in their eyes. You're stronger than you look. Leaf ninjas. But you'll regret this. The forces of the Sound Village won't forget your faces. Sound Village? Sasuke repeated, his expression darkening. They're behind this. The ninja smirked, fading into unconsciousness. You have no idea what's coming. With their enemy subdued, Naruto turned to the rain ninjas. Thanks for the help, guys. We couldn't have done it without you. Don't mention it. One of the rain ninjas replied, a slight smile on their face. But let's grab that scroll and get out of here before more enemies show up. As they retrieved the Earth Scroll, Naruto felt a sense of accomplishment. They had faced adversity together and emerged victorious. Now, let's find our teams and regroup, Sasuke said, glancing around the forest. We need to make sure everyone is okay. As they made their way back to the meeting point, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of unease. The battle against the Sound Village ninja had shown him that the challenges were far from over. Once they regrouped, Naruto shared their encounter with the others, who were all eager to hear about the events. The alliance with the rain ninjas had proven beneficial, but a lingering sense of foreboding clouded the atmosphere. Whatever's happening, we need to be ready, Sasuke said, his expression serious. The Chunin exams are just the beginning. Naruto felt a surge of determination. I won't let my friends down. We'll face whatever comes next together. With their scrolls secured and their resolve strengthened, the group prepared for the next phase of the Chunin exams, ready to confront the unknown challenges that awaited them in the trials ahead. The sun hung low in the sky as Naruto and his team prepared for the next stage of the Chunin exams. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement and tension, and the memories of their recent battles still echoed in Naruto's mind. He could feel the power of Gilgamesh coursing through him, but he knew that would not guarantee victory. It was teamwork, strategy, and their bonds that would lead them through the challenges ahead. All right, everyone, this is it, Iruka-sensei announced as they gathered in the designated area for the second exam. You've all shown great skill in the first part, but the challenges are about to get tougher. Remember, teamwork and strategy will be crucial. Are you ready, Naruto? Sakura asked, her eyes filled with a mix of determination and apprehension. Ready as I'll ever be. Naruto replied with a confident grin. We're going to show everyone what we're made of. Sasuke stood nearby, his expression focused. Just don't let your excitement get in the way. We need to stay sharp. Yeah, I know, Naruto said, rolling his eyes playfully. But I can't help it. This is our chance. Iruka explained the rules of the second exam. It would take place in a vast arena filled with traps, obstacles, and challenges designed to test their skills. Each team had to retrieve a flag located at the center of the arena while protecting their own. It was a race against time, and only the top-performing teams would advance. As the horn signaled the start of the exam, Naruto's heart raced with anticipation. He and his team dashed forward, determined to make their mark. Let's go, he shouted, leading the charge. The arena sprawled before them, a complex labyrinth filled with hidden dangers. As they navigated through the obstacles, Naruto felt a rush of adrenaline. His senses heightened, and he could almost feel the presence of the Gate of Babylon at his side, urging him on. Watch out for traps, Sasuke warned, his Sharingan activated as he scanned the area for potential dangers. Suddenly, a series of spinning blades shot out from the walls, narrowly missing Naruto as he leapt to the side. That was close, he exclaimed, adrenaline pumping through his veins. We've got to stay focused. As they continued through the maze, they encountered other teams, each vying for the flag. Naruto spotted a team from the Sand Village and grinned. Let's take them out. Not yet, Sasuke cautioned. We don't know their full strength. We should observe first. Just as they moved to flank the Sand team, a loud explosion erupted nearby. The ground shook beneath them, and smoke filled the air. What was that? Sakura shouted, covering her face from the dust. Looks like they're not holding back, Kiba remarked. His eyes narrowed. Let's keep our distance and watch. As they surveyed the chaos, Naruto noticed a familiar face among the sand ninjas. Gaara, the Jinchuriki with a reputation for ruthlessness. The aura around him was dark, and Naruto could sense an immense power lurking within. Gaara, Naruto muttered, recalling their previous encounter. The memories of their fight still haunted him, and he couldn't help but feel a surge of determination. I won't let fear hold me back. The Sand team quickly dispatched their opponents, using a combination of powerful jutsu and ruthless strategy. Naruto watched as Gaara summoned sand to create a protective shield, effortlessly fending off attacks while his teammates struck decisively. Let's move, Sasuke urged, sensing an opportunity. We need to get to the flag before they do. With a renewed sense of purpose, they pressed forward, darting through the obstacles while keeping an eye on the Sand team. They could feel the tension in the air as they approached the center of the arena. As they neared the flag, they spotted another team, a group of ninjas from the Sound Village, led by a boy with spiky hair and an arrogant grin. Well, what do we have here? He taunted, crossing his arms. Looks like the Leaf Ninjas are lost. Shut up, Naruto shouted, gripping his sword tightly. We're not backing down. The Sound Ninja smirked, a glint of malice in his eyes. How about we settle this here and now? Before Naruto could respond, the Sound Ninjas charged at them, a wave of jutsu flying in their direction. Get ready, Sasuke shouted, his eyes scanning the attackers. Kiba and Akamaru launched forward, using their combined strength to distract the Sound team. Let's show them what we're made of, Kiba yelled, his ninkin barking fiercely. Naruto summoned an array of weapons, drawing on the power of Gilgamesh. I'll take the lead, he declared, launching a flurry of swords at the approaching enemies. The battle erupted, and chaos ensued as both teams clashed. Naruto felt the thrill of combat ignite his spirit, and he moved with a newfound confidence. He wielded the weapons with precision, each strike fueled by the determination to protect his friends and claim victory. Focus on the flag, Sasuke shouted, darting past Naruto to engage the Sound Ninjas head-on. He unleashed a series of powerful fire jutsu, forcing their opponents to scatter. Hinata, use your Byakugan, Sakura called, scanning the area for any signs of danger. We need to keep track of everyone. Hinata nodded, activating her Byakugan. I can see them. They're regrouping on the left. As Naruto continued to fight, he felt the power of Gilgamesh pushing him forward. He summoned a massive sword, charging at the Sound Ninja leader. This ends now, he shouted, delivering a powerful strike that sent the enemy crashing to the ground. With their leader down, the Sound Ninjas faltered, unsure of how to proceed. Naruto seized the moment. Let's finish this. Sasuke and Kiba coordinated their attacks, each strike bringing them closer to victory. The remaining Sound Ninjas retreated, unable to withstand their combined might. As the dust settled, Naruto caught his breath, feeling the adrenaline still coursing through him. We did it, he exclaimed, a wide grin on his face. Not yet, Sasuke said, glancing towards the flag at the center of the arena. We still need to secure it. They hurried towards the flag, their hearts racing with anticipation. As they approached, A loud roar echoed through the arena, causing the ground to tremble beneath their feet. "What now?" Kiba shouted, eyes wide with alarm. Emerging from the shadows was a colossal creature, a massive boar covered in spikes, its eyes gleaming with fury. "Get out of the way!" Naruto yelled, barely dodging as the beast charged towards them. "We need to distract it." Sakura shouted, forming hand signs for a jutsu. "I'll create a diversion." Naruto summoned weapons from the Gate of Babylon, ready to strike. "Nope. I'll take it on. Are you insane?" Sasuke shouted, urgency in his tone. "We need to work together." With a fierce determination, Naruto charged at the boar. "Gilgamesh's power. Lend me strength," he called, summoning a massive spear and launching it at the beast. The spear struck true, but the boar barely flinched. It turned, snorting angrily as it locked eyes on Naruto. "Here goes nothing," he shouted, dodging the creature's charge. "Get out of the way," Kiba yelled, launching a barrage of shuriken at the boar to divert its attention. "We need to regroup." Sasuke and Hinata worked together, unleashing a combination of fire and gentle fist techniques to weaken the beast. "Naruto, now's your chance," Sasuke called out. Naruto, fueled by their efforts, summoned the energy of Gilgamesh once more. "I won't let this creature stop us," he declared, launching a series of golden weapons at the boar. With a final, powerful strike, the boar collapsed, defeated. The arena fell silent, and the tension in the air slowly dissipated. Panting heavily, Naruto turned to his teammates, adrenaline still coursing through his veins. "We did it. Now, let's get that flag." As they rushed towards the flag, they could feel the weight of their victory settling in. They had faced formidable opponents and emerged triumphant. "Good job, everyone," Sakura exclaimed, relief flooding her voice. "Now we just need to wait for the others to finish." As they secured the flag, Naruto felt a sense of pride wash over him. They had proven themselves, not just to their opponents but to each other. The bond they shared had only grown stronger through their trials, and together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. As they waited for the other teams to complete the exam, Naruto looked out at the arena, determination etched on his face. "I won't stop until I become Hokage." With the completion of the second exam, Naruto and his team were eager to hear the results. As they gathered with the other participating teams, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and anxiety. Teams that had successfully secured their flags stood together, exchanging stories of their encounters. "Did you see that boar?" Kiba exclaimed, grinning. "That thing was huge. I can't believe we took it down." "Yeah. But the way Naruto handled it, summoning all those weapons, it was like watching a movie," Sakura added, admiration shining in her eyes. Sasuke, arms crossed, remained stoic but nodded slightly, acknowledging Naruto's efforts. "You did well. But don't let it go to your head. We'll face stronger opponents in the next round." Naruto, basking in the praise, laughed. "I know. But we're all in this together. Right? No one's going to beat the Leaf Village." Just then, the announcer stepped forward, calling for attention. "Congratulations to all teams that completed the second exam. You've proven yourselves worthy to move on to the final round." Cheers erupted from the crowd, but the energy shifted when the announcer continued. "However, be warned, those who failed to secure flags will be eliminated from the exams." The mood quickly soured as some teams looked downcast. Naruto's heart sank for those who had fought hard but hadn't succeeded. "I hope they're okay," he murmured, feeling the weight of their struggle. "Don't worry about them," Sasuke said, noticing Naruto's expression. "They'll bounce back. We need to focus on our next challenge." As the crowd settled, the announcer revealed the details for the final round. The final exam will take place in an arena filled with traps and obstacles. Each team will face off against one another in one-on-one battles. The winners will advance, and the losers will be eliminated. The matchups will be drawn randomly, so be prepared for anything. "Individual battles?" Naruto exclaimed, excitement bubbling within him. "This is going to be awesome." "Just remember," Sasuke reminded, his tone serious, "this is not just about strength. You need to use your head and be strategic." Naruto nodded, determination replacing his earlier excitement. Right? I'll show everyone what I can do. As the matchups were drawn, tension filled the air. One by one, the names were called, and Naruto's heart raced as he waited for his turn. Finally, the announcer called out, Naruto Uzumaki vs. Temari from the Sand Village. Naruto's heart skipped a beat. Temari. He remembered their previous encounter during the first exam and how formidable she had been with her wind jutsu. This will be interesting, he thought, gritting his teeth with determination. As he made his way to the arena, he spotted Temari standing confidently on the other side. Her fan was slung over her shoulder, a determined glint in her eyes. Ready to lose? Naruto? She called out, a teasing smile on her lips. Not a chance. Naruto shouted back, his confidence surging. I'll show you the true power of a ninja. The announcer signaled the start of the match, and Naruto wasted no time. He charged forward, determined to close the distance between them. Let's see what you've got. Temari smirked, unfurling her fan. You won't get close that easily. With a swift motion, she unleashed a powerful gust of wind, sending Naruto tumbling backward. Whoa! Naruto exclaimed, scrambling to regain his footing. You're not holding back? Never, she replied, her eyes narrowing as she prepared for another attack. Naruto summoned weapons from the Gate of Babylon, launching them at her in rapid succession. Take this, he shouted, each weapon glinting with energy. Temari expertly dodged, using her fan to deflect some of the projectiles. Nice try, but you'll have to do better. Drawing on his instincts, Naruto switched tactics. He dashed left, creating clones to confuse her. Shadow clone jutsu, he shouted, filling the arena with copies of himself. Temari's eyes widened, and she quickly assessed the situation. Clever, but not clever enough. With a swift motion, she unleashed a tornado of wind, sending several clones flying. Naruto grinned, noticing her focus. That's it. I just need to keep her off balance. He charged again, weaving through the remaining clones to close the gap. As he approached, he felt the power of Gilgamesh surge within him. Let's go, he shouted, summoning a massive sword from the Gate of Babylon and slashing toward Temari. She barely managed to block the attack with her fan, the force sending her skidding backward. You're stronger than I thought, she admitted, breathing heavily. Naruto didn't let up. And I'm just getting started. He summoned more weapons, launching them from different angles to keep her on the defensive. As the battle raged on, Temari began to adapt. You're quick, but I'll show you the true power of the wind, she declared, gathering chakra into her fan. With a mighty swing, she unleashed a powerful gale, aiming to blow Naruto away. Not today, Naruto shouted, summoning a shield made of golden energy. The wind collided with the shield, creating a massive shockwave that pushed him back but didn't knock him down. You're not bad, Uzumaki, Temari admitted, a flicker of respect in her eyes. But can you handle this? With a fierce determination, she unleashed a massive gust, the wind swirling around her like a cyclone. Naruto braced himself, drawing on his reserves. I won't back down. Gilgamesh, lend me your strength. In a burst of energy, he summoned an array of weapons, each glowing with divine power. Let's end this. He charged, thrusting the weapons forward, each one infused with chakra. The arena shook as their powers clashed. Temari's wind met Naruto's divine weapons, creating an explosive force that sent shockwaves throughout the stadium. The crowd gasped, captivated by the spectacle. As the dust settled, Naruto stood his ground, determination burning in his eyes. Temari, on the other hand, staggered back, panting heavily. Impressive. But I'm not done yet. I'm not either, Naruto declared, channeling all his chakra into a final strike. He unleashed a massive wave of weapons, the energy swirling around him like a tempest. With a final push, Naruto charged, ready to claim victory. I won't lose. As the energy collided, the arena erupted in a blinding light, and the crowd watched in awe. When the light faded, Naruto stood victorious, breathing heavily as he looked down at the defeated Temari. I did it, he exclaimed, adrenaline coursing through his veins. The announcer stepped forward, raising a hand to declare Naruto the winner. Naruto Uzumaki advances to the next round. Cheers erupted from the crowd. And Naruto couldn't help but grin widely. He had faced a powerful opponent and emerged victorious. The weight of the battle hung in the air. But he felt a sense of pride swell within him. As he returned to his team, Sakura and Kiba rushed to congratulate him. "You were amazing, Naruto." Sakura beamed, her eyes sparkling with admiration. "Yeah, you totally owned her," Kiba added, grinning widely. Sasuke, standing slightly apart, nodded in approval. "Good job. But don't get too cocky. There are tougher battles ahead." Naruto nodded, his heart racing with anticipation. "I know. I can't wait to see who I'll face next." As the matches continued, Naruto watched each battle unfold, learning from the strategies and techniques of the other competitors. He felt the tension and excitement in the air, knowing that the stakes were higher than ever. But as the day wore on, he couldn't shake the feeling that a greater challenge awaited him. The battles ahead would test not only his strength but also his resolve as a ninja. With newfound determination, Naruto prepared himself for whatever lay ahead. He would face every challenge, rise above every obstacle, and prove that he was worthy of becoming Hokage. "I won't stop until I reach my goal," he thought, feeling the power of Gilgamesh resonate within him. The sun hung high in the sky, casting a warm glow over the arena as the final matches of the Chunin exams began. Naruto stood in the center, his heart racing with excitement. He had just defeated Temari, a powerful opponent, but he knew the toughest battles were yet to come. As the announcer called for the next match, Naruto scanned the crowd, feeling the weight of their expectations. He wanted to make them proud, to show that he was not just the loud, brash ninja they had always known, but a formidable warrior capable of great things. Next up, we have Sasuke Uchiha vs. Gaara from the Sand Village, the announcer proclaimed, and the arena erupted in cheers. Naruto's heart sank slightly. Gaara was notorious for his strength and the terrifying power of his shukaku, the one tail. He turned to Sasuke, who was already preparing himself mentally for the fight. "You got this, Sasuke. Show him what you're made of," Naruto shouted, trying to boost his teammates' morale. Sasuke shot him a sidelong glance, a faint smirk tugging at the corner of his lips. "I won't lose. Especially not to someone like him." As Sasuke stepped into the arena, the atmosphere shifted. Gaara emerged next, his sand swirling around him, creating an eerie spectacle. His eyes were cold and calculating, and an unsettling silence fell over the crowd. Naruto felt a shiver run down his spine as he watched the two face off. "Begin," the announcer called. The match started with Gaara immediately summoning a wave of sand, forming it into an enormous shield. Sasuke, quick on his feet, charged forward, weaving through the sand with agility. He unleashed a barrage of shuriken, which struck against the shield but were effortlessly absorbed by Gaara's defenses. "Is that all you've got?" Gaara taunted, his voice dripping with disdain. The sand around him shifted, forming into a massive hand that shot towards Sasuke. "Not even close," Sasuke shouted, performing hand signs. "Fire style. Fireball jutsu." A blazing fireball erupted from his mouth, colliding with the sand hand. The explosion sent both combatants flying backward. Naruto watched intently, adrenaline pumping through his veins. He felt a strong connection with Sasuke. Both of them had trained hard to become stronger, and he wanted to see his friend succeed. The smoke cleared, revealing Gaara unscathed, the sand swirling protectively around him. "You're going to have to do better than that," he declared, his expression unchanging. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. "I plan to," he muttered, gathering chakra as he prepared for his next move. With a swift motion, he activated his Sharingan, the red eyes locking onto Gaara. "Here I come," Sasuke shouted, charging at Gaara with renewed determination. He used the enhanced perception of his Sharingan to dodge the sand attacks, weaving in and out with precision. Gaara responded by raising a massive wall of sand, but Sasuke leapt above it, launching himself into the air. "This ends now," he yelled, channeling chakra into his hands. "Chidori." The lightning surged, crackling with energy as he descended towards Gaara. "Don't underestimate me," Gaara retorted, the sand shifting beneath him. In a split second, he formed a protective sphere of sand, absorbing Sasuke's Chidori with a deafening crash. Naruto clenched his fists. "Come on, Sasuke. You can break through." But Gaara wasn't finished. He countered by thrusting his hands forward, sending waves of sand to entrap Sasuke. "You're too slow," Gaara taunted, the sand beginning to constrict around Sasuke. Sasuke struggled against the grains, his face contorted with effort. "I won't give up," he declared, focusing on the energy within him. With a sudden burst of strength, he activated his Sharingan further, manipulating the sand with his chakra to create a diversion. The crowd gasped as Sasuke managed to break free, rolling to his feet just as Gaara prepared another assault. "You can't keep this up forever," Gaara shouted, his voice laced with frustration. "Maybe not," Sasuke admitted, breathing heavily. "But I won't stop fighting." He rushed at Gaara once more, determined to find an opening. "Sand coffin," Gaara cried, his voice echoing ominously as the sand rushed up to ensnare Sasuke once again. Naruto felt a surge of panic. "Sasuke, look out," he yelled. But the warning came too late. Gaara's sand wrapped around Sasuke, lifting him off the ground. "Now, let's see how you fare against my true power," Gaara said, a sinister smile creeping onto his face. Sand burial. Just as it seemed all hope was lost for Sasuke, a loud crack echoed through the arena. Naruto's heart raced as he saw Sasuke activate his Sharingan again, channeling more chakra. "Enough," Sasuke roared, tapping into his anger and determination. With a massive burst of energy, he shattered the sand restraints, falling to the ground with a fierce glare aimed at Gaara. "I won't be beaten by someone like you," Sasuke shouted, rising to his feet. The intensity in the arena escalated. Gaara's eyes widened in surprise. "You're more resilient than I thought." Naruto could feel the tension building. He believed in Sasuke, and he knew that if anyone could defeat Gaara, it was him. "You've got this, Sasuke. Show him your power," Naruto shouted from the sidelines, his voice filled with conviction. With newfound determination, Sasuke prepared for his ultimate move. "I'll show you what it means to be a Uchiha." He focused his chakra, creating a dazzling blue flame in his palm. "Fire style. Phoenix fire jutsu," he yelled, sending a flurry of fireballs towards Gaara. Gaara was quick to react, raising a massive wall of sand to shield himself. The flames collided with the sand, creating an explosion that sent debris flying. But Sasuke didn't stop there. He leapt into the air, using the chaos as cover to close the distance. "Now," he shouted, aiming for Gaara's blind spot. He struck with a powerful kick, knocking Gaara off balance for the first time. "What?" Gaara exclaimed, caught off guard. Seizing the moment, Sasuke delivered a series of rapid punches and kicks, his movements fluid and precise. Gaara struggled to regain his footing, his expression shifting from confidence to frustration. Naruto cheered from the sidelines, feeling a rush of adrenaline. "Yes. Keep going, Sasuke. Why won't you just give up?" Gaara growled, sand swirling around him in a defensive maneuver. "You can't win. I'm not going to lose to you or anyone else," Sasuke shouted, determination blazing in his eyes. He summoned all his strength, channeling it into a single, decisive blow. "This is for everyone I care about." With a final surge of chakra, Sasuke launched himself at Gaara, unleashing a powerful punch infused with fire and lightning. "This ends now." The crowd held its breath as Sasuke's fist connected with Gaara's sand shield, causing a massive explosion that lit up the arena. When the dust settled, Gaara lay on the ground, his expression stunned as the sand surrounding him dissipated. Sasuke stood tall, breathing heavily but victorious. The announcer stepped forward, raising his hand. "Sasuke Uchiha wins." Cheers erupted from the crowd, and Naruto couldn't contain his excitement. He rushed to Sasuke's side, throwing his arms around him. "You did it, Sasuke. I knew you could." Yeah, Sasuke replied, a hint of a smile creeping onto his lips. "Don't get too mushy on me." As they left the arena, Naruto felt a sense of pride swell within him. His friends were growing stronger every day, and he was determined to catch up to them. But as the matches continued, he couldn't shake the feeling that the next challenges would push them all to their limits. The next round of battles was approaching, and with it, the reality of the dangers they would face. The day ended with Naruto watching the remaining matches, his mind racing with possibilities. He knew he needed to prepare for whatever lay ahead, and the power of Gilgamesh would be crucial in the battles to come. As the sun set over the arena, Naruto vowed to become stronger, to protect his friends, and to prove that he could become Hokage one day. "I won't let anyone down," he thought, feeling the resolve burning in his chest. The atmosphere in the arena was electric as the final matches of the Chunin exams continued. Naruto felt the anticipation thrumming through the air, each match revealing the strengths and weaknesses of the participating shinobi. After Sasuke's impressive victory against Gaara, the crowd buzzed with excitement, eager to see who would come out on top next. Naruto leaned forward, his eyes glued to the center of the arena, where the announcer prepared to call the next match. He was more than ready to prove himself. He could feel the power of Gilgamesh surging within him, waiting for the right moment to unleash its full potential. "I can't wait to show everyone what I can do." Next up, we have Shino Aburame vs. Kankuro from the Sand Village, the announcer declared, and the crowd erupted in cheers. Naruto watched intently as Shino stepped forward, his demeanor calm and collected. Shino had always been a quiet yet formidable presence within their team. With his mastery of insects and the unique abilities of his clan, Naruto knew he was capable of surprising feats. Kankuro entered the arena with a confident stride, his puppet, Karasu, hovering ominously behind him. "This will be an easy win for me," Kankuro boasted, smirking at Shino. "Don't underestimate my abilities," Shino replied, his voice steady. "You'll find I have my own tricks." As the match began, Kankuro quickly maneuvered Karasu into position, unleashing a barrage of attacks. The crowd watched in awe as Kankuro expertly manipulated his puppet, using strings to control its movements with precision. Shino remained calm, summoning his insects to defend against Kankuro's assault. "Insect jutsu. Insect barrier," he exclaimed, creating a protective shield of his bugs that absorbed the impact of Kankuro's attacks. Kankuro's expression shifted to one of surprise. "What? How is that possible?" Shino's insects swarmed around him, creating a cloud of tiny creatures that obscured him from view. "I don't need to rely on brute strength," he said, his voice calm. "I have the ability to outsmart my opponents." Naruto cheered from the sidelines, impressed by Shino's strategy. "Go, Shino. Show him what you've got." As the battle raged on, Shino began to counterattack. "Insect jutsu. Parasitic insects," he called out, sending a swarm of bugs toward Kankuro's puppet. Kankuro reacted quickly, commanding Karasu to defend itself. "You think your bugs can defeat me? Let's see how you handle this." He launched a series of explosive tags attached to Karasu, igniting the arena with powerful blasts. Shino adjusted his strategy, using his insects to absorb some of the explosions while simultaneously moving closer to Kankuro. "You're stronger than I anticipated, but I won't give up." The two exchanged attacks, each using their unique abilities to gain the upper hand. Naruto felt the tension rise as he watched Shino adapt and strategize, using his environment and insects to create openings. Finally, in a decisive moment, Shino managed to infiltrate Kankuro's defenses. "Now, I'll show you the true strength of my clan," he shouted, unleashing a swarm that enveloped Karasu and began to dismantle the puppet piece by piece. "No, Karasu!" Kankuro yelled in disbelief, watching as his puppet was torn apart. "You can't do this." Shino's eyes narrowed. "You relied too much on your puppet. A true shinobi must be able to adapt and think beyond mere tools." With a final push, Shino commanded his insects to overwhelm Kankuro, leaving him no choice but to surrender. The announcer raised his hand, declaring, "Shino Aburame wins." Cheers erupted from the crowd as Shino bowed, a rare smile gracing his face. Naruto couldn't contain his excitement, rushing to congratulate his friend. "You were amazing, Shino. That was so cool." Shino adjusted his glasses, nodding slightly. Thank you, Naruto. But I must remain focused. The next matches will be even more challenging. Definitely. Naruto agreed, his mind racing with thoughts of his own upcoming battle. I can't wait to see who I face next. As the matches continued, Naruto felt a growing sense of urgency. He wanted to be ready for whatever awaited him, and the power of Gilgamesh beckoned from within. He could feel its influence growing stronger, but he also sensed a lingering darkness. The announcer called the next match, Ino Yamanaka vs. Neji Hyuga. Ino stepped forward with determination, but Naruto could see the apprehension in her eyes. She was facing Neji, known for his incredible Byakugan and mastery of the gentle fist technique. This is going to be tough, he thought, his heart racing for her. As the match began, Neji immediately activated his Byakugan, his eyes glowing with a pale hue. Ino, however, quickly gathered her chakra. Mind transfer jutsu, she called, attempting to take control of Neji's mind. Neji smirked, effortlessly dodging her attempt. You think you can control me? You're underestimating the power of the Hyuga clan. Naruto clenched his fists, hoping Ino wouldn't get discouraged. Come on, Ino. Don't give up, he shouted. The battle intensified as Neji began to close in on Ino, using his gentle fist to strike with precision. She tried to evade his attacks, but Neji's speed was overwhelming. With every blow, he struck her chakra points, rendering her movements sluggish. Ino's determination shone through. However, I won't let you win, she yelled, channeling her chakra into her next move, mind-body switch jutsu. This time, she used her signature technique to evade Neji's attacks, creating a momentary opening. Not bad, Neji admitted, but his confidence remained unwavering. But it won't be enough. As Neji launched a series of strikes, Ino managed to dodge and weave, using her agility to her advantage. I'll show you the true power of the Yamanaka clan, she declared, channeling her chakra. With a sudden burst of energy, Ino caught Neji off guard, attempting her mind transfer again. This time, her connection was strong, but Neji countered by breaking free with a swift strike, knocking Ino back. Naruto felt a pang of concern for Ino, who lay on the ground, breathing heavily. Get up, Ino. You can do it, he shouted, feeling the weight of the moment. Neji approached, his expression serious. This is your last chance. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. But Ino refused to back down. She pushed herself up, determination shining in her eyes. I won't give up. I'll fight until the end. With newfound resolve, she launched into a series of techniques, using her mind transfer strategically to keep Neji on his toes. The crowd watched in awe as the battle reached its climax. Neji, focus, Naruto called, feeling the tension in the air. He knew both shinobi were giving it their all, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was brewing beneath the surface. The match ended in a tense standoff, with both fighters pushing themselves to their limits. Ino finally managed to connect with Neji, transferring her mind and gaining the upper hand. As the announcer declared Ino the winner, Naruto cheered. You did it, Ino. I knew you could. But as Ino celebrated, Naruto felt a chill run down his spine. Something was shifting in the arena, and he couldn't shake the feeling that the true challenges of the Chunin exams were just beginning. That evening, as Naruto and his friends regrouped, he sensed a darker presence looming over the event. Guys, do you feel that? He asked, glancing around at his teammates. Sasuke frowned, his expression serious. Something's off. We need to stay alert. Yeah, Naruto agreed, clenching his fists. Whatever's coming, we'll face it together. As they prepared for the final round of the exams, Naruto felt the power of Gilgamesh swirling within him, ready to be unleashed. He wouldn't let fear hold him back. He was determined to face whatever challenges lay ahead, both in battle and in the shadows that threatened their world. I will protect my friends and become Hokage, no matter what it takes, he thought, feeling the strength of his resolve solidifying within him. The sun rose over the Hidden Leaf village, casting a warm glow across the streets as Naruto and his friends prepared for the final matches of the Chunin exams. The atmosphere was filled with excitement, but an underlying tension lingered, reminding everyone of the recent battles and the challenges yet to come. As Naruto made his way to the arena, he couldn't shake the feeling that something significant was about to unfold. The power of Gilgamesh surged within him, and he felt a strange connection to the future, like whispers from a forgotten time echoing in his mind. "Hey, Naruto," Sakura called out, breaking him from his thoughts. "Are you ready for your match? I know you'll do great." "Of course. I'm more than ready," he replied, grinning. "I can't wait to show everyone what I can do." As they arrived at the arena, the crowd was already buzzing with energy, eagerly anticipating the final showdown. The announcer stepped forward, raising his voice to the excited audience. "Welcome, everyone, to the final rounds of the Chunin exams. Today, we will witness the most talented shinobi showcase their skills." Naruto's heart raced as he took his place, surrounded by his friends and fellow competitors. He spotted Sasuke and Sakura, their expressions a mix of determination and focus. Together, they had trained hard for this moment, and he knew they would face whatever came their way. "First up, we have the match between Gaara of the Sand and Sasuke Uchiha," the announcer declared. Naruto's excitement surged as he watched Sasuke step forward, ready to face Gaara. He had witnessed Gaara's power during the earlier matches, and he knew this would be a battle for the ages. Sasuke, with his Sharingan, had come a long way, and Naruto believed in his friend's abilities. Gaara entered the arena, his sand swirling ominously around him, creating a barrier of protection. "You think you can defeat me?" Gaara's voice was cold, almost emotionless. "You will perish like the rest." Sasuke met his gaze with unwavering determination. "I won't let you intimidate me. I'll show you what true power looks like." As the match began, Sasuke immediately activated his Sharingan, focusing intently on Gaara's movements. The crowd gasped as Gaara unleashed a torrent of sand, attempting to engulf Sasuke in a crushing embrace. "Now, Sasuke," Naruto shouted, his voice rising above the noise. "Use your speed." With a burst of chakra, Sasuke dodged to the side, narrowly avoiding the onslaught. He retaliated with a series of shuriken, which sliced through the air toward Gaara. The red-haired shinobi reacted quickly, using his sand to create a shield, deflecting the projectiles. "Impressive, but not enough," Gaara taunted, his sand swirling menacingly. Sasuke's expression hardened. "I'll show you." Fire style. Fireball jutsu. He unleashed a massive fireball that roared through the arena, illuminating the sky. Gaara responded with his sand, creating a wall to absorb the attack. "You think flames can defeat me? My sand is impenetrable." Naruto clenched his fists, feeling the tension mount. "Come on, Sasuke. You can do this," he thought, watching as Sasuke continued to strategize. The match escalated as Sasuke used his agility to evade Gaara's sand attacks, darting around the arena and searching for an opening. The crowd was on the edge of their seats, captivated by the fierce exchange. In a pivotal moment, Sasuke summoned his Chidori, channeling all his chakra into the technique. "I won't hold back anymore," he shouted, charging toward Gaara. "Fool! You think you can reach me?" Gaara sneered, his sand forming a massive hand to crush Sasuke. But Sasuke was faster. Chidori. He broke through Gaara's defenses, his technique piercing the sand hand and striking Gaara directly. The arena erupted in cheers as Gaara stumbled back, shocked by the power of Sasuke's attack. How is this possible?" Gaara gasped, his expression faltering. Sasuke stood tall, a fierce determination in his eyes. This is just the beginning. But before Sasuke could capitalize on his momentum, Gaara summoned an immense amount of sand, surrounding him completely. "You think you've won? I will not be defeated so easily." As the sand constricted around Sasuke, Naruto felt a surge of desperation. "No, don't let him do this," he yelled, feeling the urge to jump into the arena. But Sasuke wouldn't give up. "I won't let you control me, Gaara," he shouted, channeling his chakra into his Sharingan. With a fierce determination, he broke free from the sand's grasp. "Enough of this," Gaara screamed, his voice filled with rage. I'll show you the true power of the One Tail. The crowd fell silent as Gaara transformed, his demeanor shifting dramatically. Dark chakras swirled around him, and the air became heavy with an oppressive force. Naruto watched in awe and fear as Gaara's transformation unleashed chaos in the arena. This is bad, Sakura whispered, her eyes wide with worry. Naruto felt the familiar sensation of the power of Gilgamesh rising within him, urging him to act. I can't let this continue, he declared, preparing to step in. But Sasuke wasn't finished yet. He gathered his remaining strength, focusing on the fight ahead. I won't let you destroy everything. He activated the cursed seal, his power surging to new heights. The two collided in a fierce exchange, the arena shaking with each blow. Naruto could feel the intensity of their battle, and he knew this was a turning point. Let's go, Sasuke. Naruto shouted, his voice filled with encouragement. You're strong enough to beat him. In that moment, as Gaara unleashed his fury, Sasuke unleashed the full power of the Chidori, piercing through the chaos. This is for everyone who's suffered at your hands, he roared. With a blinding flash of light, the energy of their battle culminated in a massive explosion, enveloping the arena in a blinding haze. Naruto shielded his eyes, feeling the shockwave ripple through him. When the dust settled, the crowd gasped in awe. Sasuke stood victorious, though weary and battered, while Gaara lay unconscious, the dark chakra dissipating around him. Sasuke. Naruto cheered, rushing into the arena to celebrate with his friend. You did it! You beat him! Sasuke nodded, breathing heavily. It wasn't easy, but I couldn't let him win. As the announcer declared Sasuke the winner, the crowd erupted in applause. Yet, deep down, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that this battle was only the beginning. The shadows of danger loomed closer, and he sensed that their true challenges were still ahead. Later that day, as they regrouped, Naruto shared his concerns with his friends. Something feels off. Gaara's power, it wasn't normal. Sakura nodded, her expression serious. We need to stay vigilant. There's something bigger going on, and I have a feeling it's connected to the upcoming matches. Sasuke agreed, his eyes narrowed. We can't underestimate our opponents. We need to be prepared for anything. As they discussed their strategies, Naruto felt the power of Gilgamesh within him, ready to rise to the occasion. He knew they were on the brink of something monumental, and he was determined to protect his friends and the village at all costs. That night, as the stars twinkled overhead, Naruto gazed at the sky, feeling the weight of destiny pressing upon him. He would not shy away from his responsibilities. He would embrace the path laid before him. No matter what happens, I will become Hokage, he vowed, feeling the strength of Gilgamesh empowering his resolve. As the sun set over the Hidden Leaf village, Naruto felt an air of anticipation mingled with unease. The results of the Chunin exams were still fresh in everyone's minds, and the implications of Gaara's transformation weighed heavily on him and his friends. The events of the day were a stark reminder of the challenges that lay ahead, and Naruto knew they needed to prepare for whatever darkness awaited them. The next day, as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura gathered at their usual training ground, Naruto felt a sense of determination swell within him. We need to train harder than ever, he declared, clenching his fists. If we're going to face whatever comes next, we can't afford to hold back. Agreed, Sasuke replied, his expression focused. We've seen how strong our opponents can be. We need to be ready for anything. Sakura nodded, her eyes shining with resolve. I'll work on improving my techniques too. We can't let our guard down. With a newfound sense of purpose, the trio began their training, pushing each other to their limits. Naruto felt the power of Gilgamesh coursing through him, and he harnessed that energy to enhance his skills. He practiced his shadow clone jutsu, creating multiple clones that launched a series of attacks against Sasuke and Sakura, who were equally determined to improve. Come on, Naruto. You need to focus, Sakura shouted, dodging a barrage of clones. Yeah, use that power of yours, Sasuke added, expertly evading Naruto's strikes while launching counterattacks of his own. I will, Naruto replied, grinning. Just wait until I fully master this. As they trained, Naruto focused on channeling the abilities of Gilgamesh. He envisioned the vast arsenal of weapons and techniques at his disposal. Eager to tap into that power. "I'll become unstoppable," he thought, feeling the fire of determination ignite within him. Suddenly, their training was interrupted by the sound of hurried footsteps approaching. They turned to see Iruka running toward them. His expression serious. "Naruto. Sasuke. Sakura. We need to talk. What's going on? Iruka-sensei?" Naruto asked. Concern etched on his face. Iruka took a moment to catch his breath before speaking. "There's been a disturbance in the village. Reports have come in about a group of rogue shinobi planning an attack during the finals of the Chunin exams." Naruto's heart raced. "Rogue shinobi? Are they from the Sand Village?" "No," Iruka replied, shaking his head. "They're affiliated with a group that has been gathering strength in the land of rice fields. They call themselves the Sound Village." Sasuke's expression darkened. "I've heard of them. They're dangerous and not to be underestimated." "Exactly," Iruka continued. "They're looking to take advantage of the chaos during the finals. We need to prepare the village for an impending attack." Naruto clenched his fists, determination igniting in his chest. "We can't let them ruin the Chunin exams. We have to protect everyone. Right? We should gather the others and inform the Hokage," Sakura suggested, her eyes wide with urgency. As they set off to find their friends, Naruto's mind raced with thoughts of battle. "This is it. This is my chance to show everyone what I can do with the power of Gilgamesh." Upon reaching the Hokage's office, they found Tsunade and several Jonin gathered, discussing the situation at hand. The air was thick with tension as they prepared for the impending threat. "Thank you for coming," Tsunade said, addressing Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. "We have received reports that the Sound Village will attempt to disrupt the finals. We need to ensure the safety of the participants and the spectators. Let us handle it," Naruto exclaimed, his voice filled with resolve. "We won't let them get away with it." Tsunade regarded them seriously. "I appreciate your enthusiasm. But this isn't a game. We need to act strategically. I want you to assist in the evacuation of civilians while we set up defenses around the arena." "Understood," Sasuke replied, nodding firmly. As the meeting concluded, Naruto felt a sense of urgency surge within him. They had to act quickly to prevent the Sound Village from executing their plan. He could feel the power of Gilgamesh swirling within him, ready to be unleashed at a moment's notice. "Let's move," Naruto said, leading the way as they rushed out of the Hokage's office. The streets were bustling as they made their way through the village, the tension palpable in the air. People were beginning to gather for the finals, unaware of the danger lurking just beyond their borders. Naruto's heart raced as he thought of all the innocent lives at stake. "Everyone, we need to stay alert," he called out to the villagers they encountered. "There's a threat to the village, and we need to evacuate to the safe zones." Some villagers exchanged worried glances, but they quickly complied, moving toward the designated evacuation points. Naruto felt a sense of pride as he helped guide them, knowing that their safety depended on swift action. As they reached the arena, Naruto could see the preparations underway. The Jonin were forming defensive lines and setting traps around the area, creating a protective perimeter. Tsunade coordinated the efforts, her presence commanding respect from everyone involved. "Good. We're making progress," Tsunade said, her voice steady. "But we need to stay vigilant. The Sound Shinobi could strike at any moment." Just then, a loud explosion echoed through the village, shaking the ground beneath them. The crowd gasped in shock, and panic ensued as people began to flee in all directions. "Stay calm," Naruto shouted, his heart pounding. "We need to regroup and protect the civilians." "Let's go," Sasuke said, and together, they rushed toward the source of the explosion. As they neared the arena, they could see the chaos unfolding. A group of rogue shinobi clad in dark clothing emerged from the smoke, their eyes filled with malice. Naruto's pulse quickened as he recognized the leader, a sinister figure with wild hair and a chilling grin. "Welcome, Leaf Village," the leader called out, his voice dripping with mockery. "We've come to crash your little party. Who are you?" Naruto demanded, stepping forward, ready to confront the threat head-on. "Just a humble servant of the Sound Village," the man replied, his grin widening. And I've been waiting for a chance to unleash chaos. Not on our watch. Sasuke said, activating his Sharingan, his eyes sharp and focused. We'll protect our village. The rogue shinobi laughed, summoning chakra as his comrades prepared for battle. You think you can stop us? We'll tear this village apart. Naruto felt the power of Gilgamesh boiling within him, ready to be unleashed. He stood tall, determination shining in his eyes. We won't let you. This is our home. And we'll fight to protect it. As the tension thickened in the air, the battle was about to begin. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura prepared to face the oncoming storm, ready to defend their village and prove that their bonds were stronger than any threat that dared to approach. Let's do this. Naruto shouted, feeling the weight of destiny on his shoulders. With the power of Gilgamesh at his side, he was ready to face whatever challenges awaited them, no matter the cost. The atmosphere was charged with tension as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stood poised for battle against the rogue shinobi from the Sound Village. The crowd's panic echoed in the distance, but in that moment, all that mattered was the confrontation ahead. The leader of the Sound Shinobi, with wild hair and a wicked grin, stepped forward, exuding a dark aura that sent chills down Naruto's spine. Are you ready to witness true power? The leader taunted, his eyes glinting with malice. Let's see how long you can last. Before they could respond, the rogue shinobi surged forward, chakra radiating from him like a tempest. In that instant, Naruto felt the power of Gilgamesh surging within him, awakening a primal instinct to protect his friends and village. Stay close. Naruto shouted, channeling his chakra as he prepared for combat. We'll take him down together. Sasuke nodded, his Sharingan spinning as he analyzed the movements of their opponent. Let's see what you've got, he said, his voice steady and confident. The rogue shinobi lunged at them, launching a flurry of kunai with incredible speed. Too slow, he sneered as he vanished in a blur. Naruto reacted instinctively, summoning a horde of shadow clones. Clones! Attack! He commanded. The clones charged forward, surrounding the rogue shinobi as he reappeared, caught off guard. Pathetic. The rogue yelled, swatting the clones aside with ease. His strength was formidable, and Naruto could feel the gap in their abilities. But he refused to back down. Let's show him what we can do. Sakura exclaimed, readying her own jutsu, Cherry Blossom Impact. With a graceful flourish, she unleashed a barrage of kunai infused with her chakra, aiming to distract the enemy. As the rogue dodged Sakura's attack, Sasuke seized the opportunity. Now, Naruto! He shouted, launching himself at the enemy. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. Got it. Naruto replied, feeling the familiar rush of chakra flow through him. Rasengan. He charged forward, combining his signature technique with Sasuke's fireball to create a devastating dual assault. The rogue shinobi smirked, preparing to counter with his own jutsu. You think that'll work on me? You'll regret. Before he could finish, the combined force of Naruto's Rasengan and Sasuke's fireball collided with him, resulting in a massive explosion that illuminated the arena. The force sent shockwaves through the ground, and debris flew into the air as the smoke enveloped the area. Did we get him? Sakura asked, her voice filled with uncertainty. Naruto squinted through the haze, determination etched on his face. We can't let our guard down yet. He sensed the lingering chakra in the air, a sign that their opponent was still alive. Just then, the rogue shinobi emerged from the smoke, his clothing torn but a sinister grin plastered on his face. You think a little explosion can take me down? I'm just getting started. Naruto's resolve deepened. We have to end this now before he can summon reinforcements. He felt the power of Gilgamesh bubbling to the surface, eager to be unleashed. Let's do this, Sasuke said, his eyes blazing with intensity. He activated his cursed seal, allowing the additional power to flow through him as he prepared for a more powerful attack. Naruto focused his chakra, summoning the weapons from the Gate of Babylon. Golden light erupted around him as swords and weapons materialized, floating in the air, ready to be wielded. What is that? The rogue shinobi exclaimed, taken aback by the display of power. What kind of jutsu is that? It's my power, Naruto declared, confidence radiating from him. "And I won't hold back." With a flick of his wrist, he commanded several weapons to launch toward the rogue shinobi. Divine onslaught. The blades sped through the air, glinting menacingly as they closed in on their target. The rogue shinobi reacted swiftly, conjuring a barrier of chakra to deflect the incoming weapons. "You think you can defeat me with toys?" he snarled. But Naruto was ready. "You underestimate me." He focused his chakra, channeling the energy into a single, powerful Rasengan, enhanced with the might of Gilgamesh. Rasengan. He charged forward, aiming to pierce through the rogue's defenses. The rogue shinobi braced himself, his chakra flaring as he prepared to counter. "Fool! You'll pay for your arrogance." But Naruto's determination pushed him forward, and with a final surge of strength, he collided with the rogue shinobi, the impact echoing through the arena. The rogue was thrown back, his barrier shattering under the force of the attack. As the dust settled, the rogue shinobi lay on the ground, gasping for breath. How could you do this?" he stammered, disbelief etched on his face. "Because we protect our village," Naruto declared, standing tall, Sasuke and Sakura flanking him. "And we won't let you threaten anyone else." The rogue's expression shifted from shock to fury as he scrambled to his feet, readying himself for another attack. "You think you've won? You don't know what's coming." Just then, a dark figure emerged from the shadows, a commanding presence that sent chills down Naruto's spine. The newcomer had an aura of malevolence that enveloped the area, drawing everyone's attention. "Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno." The figure spoke, his voice smooth yet threatening. "You've caused quite a stir, but you're merely pawns in a larger game." "Who are you?" Sasuke demanded, his Sharingan locked onto the figure, ready for a fight. "I am Orochimaru," the figure replied, a sinister smile curling on his lips. "And I've come to claim what is rightfully mine." The atmosphere shifted as Orochimaru revealed himself, and Naruto felt a surge of anger. This is the person responsible for so much suffering. "Get away from our village," Naruto shouted, the power of Gilgamesh thrumming beneath his skin, urging him to take action. Orochimaru merely chuckled, unfazed by their defiance. "I admire your courage, but it will be your downfall. I have no intention of leaving just yet." With a swift motion, Orochimaru extended his hand, and the ground beneath them trembled. Shadows danced as he summoned forth a horde of monstrous snakes, their scales glistening ominously in the fading light. "Prepare yourselves," Orochimaru hissed, his eyes glinting with malevolence. "This will be your last stand." Naruto felt a rush of adrenaline, and the power of Gilgamesh surged within him, amplifying his resolve. "We'll protect our village," he declared, a fierce determination igniting in his chest. "Let's do this together," Sasuke shouted, unleashing his cursed seal as he prepared for the fight. Sakura nodded, her eyes fierce. "We won't back down," as the monstrous snakes lunged forward. The trio of friends prepared to face their most dangerous opponent yet. Naruto, fueled by the power of Gilgamesh, felt the weight of their destinies pressing upon them. They were no longer just fighting for themselves. They were fighting for their home, their friends, and everything they held dear. "Let's go," Naruto shouted, charging forward as the battle erupted, determined to protect everything he loved against the gathering storm. The arena was engulfed in chaos as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura prepared to face Orochimaru and his monstrous snakes. The air was thick with tension, and Naruto could feel the weight of the impending battle bearing down on him. He had faced formidable foes before, but this was different. Orochimaru was a legend, a harbinger of darkness with insatiable ambition. "Stay focused," Sasuke shouted, his eyes locked on the writhing snakes that slithered forward, each one a grotesque manifestation of Orochimaru's dark power. "We need to strike first before he has a chance to overwhelm us." Naruto nodded, channeling the energy of Gilgamesh as weapons from the Gate of Babylon surrounded him. "I'll take the lead. Let's show him what we're made of." With a battle cry, Naruto charged forward, the air crackling with his chakra. He unleashed a barrage of weapons, golden blades slicing through the air as they targeted the nearest snake. "Divine onslaught," he yelled, sending the weapons flying. The first snake recoiled as the blades pierced its scales, but it quickly retaliated, lunging at Naruto with ferocious speed. "Watch out!" Sakura shouted, readying her own jutsu. "Leave it to me." Naruto yelled back, focusing his chakra into a Rasengan. He jumped into the air, dodging the snake's fangs as he brought his technique crashing down onto its head. The impact echoed through the arena, and the snake writhed in pain before collapsing. "Nice job," Sasuke called, but there was no time to celebrate. More snakes emerged from the shadows, their eyes glimmering with malice as they encircled the trio. "Don't get cocky." Orochimaru's voice sliced through the chaos. "You may have taken down one, but there are many more where that came from. Let's take them out." Sasuke shouted, activating his Sharingan. Fire style. Phoenix Fire Jutsu. He unleashed a stream of fire that engulfed several snakes, the flames illuminating the darkness around them. Sakura took a deep breath, channeling her chakra. "I'll help." Healing Jutsu. She focused on her teammates, readying her healing techniques in case they were injured in the fight. But as the flames cleared, the snakes were still coming, their resilience a testament to Orochimaru's dark power. "You're all so eager to fight," Orochimaru taunted, watching with a sadistic grin. "But let's see how you handle this." With a wave of his hand, the ground shook as more snakes erupted from the earth, larger and more menacing than before. They slithered toward Naruto and his friends, their fangs bared, ready to strike. "Form up," Naruto commanded, rallying his friends. "We can't let them surround us." As the snakes charged, Naruto summoned more weapons from the Gate of Babylon. "I'll cover you." He launched another barrage of blades, slicing through the approaching snakes with precision. Sasuke, seeing an opening, leapt into action. Lightning blade. He dashed forward, channeling his chakra into his hand as he struck at the nearest snake, his speed augmented by the cursed seal. "Keep pushing," Sakura shouted, her fists glowing with chakra. "We need to keep the pressure on." The battle raged on, each of them pushing their limits. Naruto felt the power of Gilgamesh fueling his attacks, making him more determined than ever to protect his friends and the village. The snakes fell one after another, but Orochimaru's eyes glinted with amusement as he observed their struggle. "Impressive," Orochimaru remarked, a chilling undertone to his voice. "But you're just delaying the inevitable. You'll tire long before I do." "Shut up," Naruto yelled, frustration boiling within him. "We're not going to lose to you." Orochimaru chuckled, a sound that sent shivers down Naruto's spine. "Then let's see how long you can last against my true power." With that, Orochimaru summoned an enormous snake, a monstrous creature that towered over them, its scales glistening in the dim light. "This is Manda, my greatest summon. He'll end your pitiful resistance." The giant snake uncoiled, its eyes locking onto Naruto and his friends, prepared to be crushed. Manda hissed, its voice deep and rumbling. Naruto's heart raced as he felt the weight of the situation. "We can't let him unleash that thing," he shouted, determination flooding his veins. "We have to take Orochimaru down first." "Right," Sasuke agreed, focusing his chakra. "I'll distract him while you two handle Manda. Be careful," Sakura cautioned, but Sasuke was already charging forward, his Sharingan ablaze with intensity. With a powerful leap, Sasuke propelled himself toward Orochimaru. "You're not getting away," he yelled, preparing to engage the rogue ninja directly. "Foolish boy," Orochimaru snapped, dodging Sasuke's advance with ease. "You think you can challenge me?" Naruto clenched his fists, anger boiling within him. "We're not afraid of you." As Manda surged forward, Naruto summoned his weapons, ready to face the gigantic serpent. "Here goes nothing." Divine Onslaught. He launched another barrage, hoping to distract Manda long enough to give Sasuke an opening. The weapons clashed against Manda's scales, causing sparks to fly. But the creature was unfazed. It lunged at Naruto, its jaws wide open, intent on swallowing him whole. "Watch out," Sakura shouted, her voice filled with urgency. "Naruto." In that instant, Naruto felt the rush of adrenaline. Not today. He dodged to the side, narrowly avoiding Manda's attack. Rasengan. He charged forward, determined to strike the giant serpent with all his might. As Naruto collided with Manda, the force of the Rasengan connected, creating an explosion that echoed through the arena. The impact sent shockwaves through the ground, and Naruto could feel the power of Gilgamesh amplifying his attacks. "Nice one, Naruto," Sasuke called out, using the distraction to launch a flurry of shuriken at Orochimaru. "We need to keep him on the defensive," Orochimaru scowled, dodging the projectiles with ease. "You think this will stop me? Manda? Crush them," the colossal serpent roared, the sound reverberating through the arena as it turned its attention back to Naruto. "You dare challenge my master?" Manda hissed, preparing to strike again. "Let's finish this," Naruto yelled, feeling the power surge within him. He focused on the weapons at his disposal, channeling his chakra into a single, powerful strike. "Gate of Babylon. Unleash." Golden light exploded around him as he summoned an array of divine weapons, preparing to unleash their full might upon Manda. "I won't let you win." With a wave of his hand, the weapons surged forward, aimed directly at Manda. The colossal snake recoiled, its eyes wide with shock as the onslaught of weapons struck, piercing through its scales. As Manda writhed in pain, Orochimaru's expression shifted from amusement to anger. "You'll pay for that," he snarled, his eyes narrowing dangerously. Sasuke seized the moment, pushing his chakra to the limit. "Now, Naruto. Let's take him down together." "Right," Naruto shouted, charging alongside Sasuke as they prepared for a final assault. The atmosphere crackled with energy as they focused their powers, determined to end Orochimaru's reign of terror once and for all. As they launched their attack, Naruto felt the essence of Gilgamesh enveloping him, and he knew that together, they could overcome even the greatest of foes. "This is for the village," he yelled, the words echoing with conviction as they charged forward, ready to clash against the darkness that threatened their home. The tension in the arena reached a fever pitch as Naruto and Sasuke charged forward, their combined powers surging with unwavering determination. The air crackled with energy, a testament to the fierce resolve of the young shinobi. Manda, the colossal serpent summoned by Orochimaru, writhed in pain, the impact of Naruto's divine weapon sending shockwaves through its massive form. "Let's end this," Naruto shouted, feeling the power of Gilgamesh coursing through him. He could sense the weight of their mission. The protection of their village and the defeat of Orochimaru rested heavily upon their shoulders. "Right," Sasuke replied, his eyes ablaze with intensity as he prepared to unleash his most powerful jutsu, Lightning Release. "Chidori." With a brilliant flash of lightning, Sasuke charged forward, aiming directly for Orochimaru, who was now visibly agitated. "You think you can defeat me with that?" Orochimaru scoffed, his eyes narrowing as he evaded Sasuke's attack. "Don't let him get away," Naruto yelled, channeling more chakra into his Rasengan as he sprinted forward. He had to keep the pressure on Orochimaru and not give him a moment to regroup. As he closed the distance, Orochimaru quickly summoned another wave of snakes to counter Naruto's advance. "You'll find it difficult to breach my defenses," he snarled, commanding the serpents to strike. But Naruto was ready. "Clones, attack." He summoned a horde of shadow clones, directing them to engage the snakes while he continued his assault on Orochimaru. "Let's go, everyone." Sakura joined in, unleashing her own barrage of kunai, aiming to clear a path for Naruto and Sasuke. "We can't let them overwhelm us." The arena erupted into chaos as the trio fought against Orochimaru's serpents. Each clone fought valiantly, and the flashes of jutsu lit up the night, creating a dazzling display of combat. "Focus on Orochimaru," Sasuke called out, narrowly dodging a snake's strike as he prepared to regroup with Naruto. "We need to take him down." Naruto nodded, pushing through the mass of snakes. He felt the power of Gilgamesh urging him forward, and he reached for the weapons floating around him, ready to unleash a more devastating attack. "Orochimaru," Naruto shouted, locking eyes with the rogue ninja. "This ends now." Divine Onslaught. With a wave of his hand, a torrent of golden weapons surged toward Orochimaru, each one glinting ominously in the dim light. The rogue shinobi's expression twisted with rage as he raised his hands, attempting to conjure a barrier. Foolish child. Orochimaru hissed, struggling to maintain his defenses as the weapons rained down upon him. You think you can defeat me so easily? Together? Sasuke called out, his voice fierce and resolute. He activated his Sharingan, weaving through the chaos to flank Orochimaru, readying his next attack. Fire style, Great Fireball Jutsu. The fireball erupted forth, combining with Naruto's weapons as they barreled toward Orochimaru, who was now cornered. The flames engulfed the golden weapons, creating an explosion that illuminated the battlefield. Now, Naruto! Sasuke shouted, seizing the moment. Finish him! Naruto felt the energy surging through him, igniting his determination. He charged forward, channeling the essence of Gilgamesh into a single, powerful Rasengan, radiating with a brilliant light. Rasengan! He yelled, aiming directly for Orochimaru. The rogue shinobi's eyes widened in horror as Naruto closed the distance, the power of the jutsu surging like a tidal wave. No! Orochimaru shouted, attempting to escape. But it was too late. With a massive explosion, Naruto collided with Orochimaru, the impact sending shockwaves through the arena. The ground shook as the force of the Rasengan tore through the darkness, engulfing Orochimaru in a blinding light. The explosion echoed through the air, and the dust settled slowly. As the smoke cleared, the remnants of the battlefield lay in ruins, and the once menacing figure of Orochimaru was nowhere to be seen. The colossal Manda, too, had vanished, leaving behind only silence. Naruto, breathing heavily, stood amidst the aftermath, his heart racing. Did we do it? He asked, glancing at Sasuke and Sakura, who were equally stunned. I think so, Sakura replied, looking around cautiously. But we can't let our guard down. He could come back any moment. Sasuke, still vigilant, nodded in agreement. We need to be ready for anything. He's always had tricks up his sleeve. Just then, a low, mocking laughter echoed through the arena, chilling their bones. Did you really think it would be that easy? Orochimaru's voice resonated ominously, and from the shadows, he emerged, looking unscathed but visibly enraged. What? How is he still standing? Naruto exclaimed, feeling a mix of disbelief and anger. Foolish brats, Orochimaru sneered, brushing himself off. You've only delayed the inevitable. I have far more power than you can comprehend. He raised his hands, and the ground trembled as he began to summon a dark jutsu. Shadows twisted and writhed around him, coalescing into a monstrous form. Manda! Orochimaru commanded, summoning his serpent once more. This time, the creature appeared larger and more menacing, its fangs dripping with venom. Get ready! Sasuke yelled, preparing for another battle as Manda lunged forward, its massive body aimed at the trio. Don't back down! Naruto shouted, feeling the heat of battle reignite within him. We can't let him win. With determination, Naruto summoned more weapons from the Gate of Babylon, surrounding him in a dazzling array of divine tools. We'll fight to the end. As Manda lunged toward them, Naruto unleashed his arsenal, sending weapons spiraling toward the serpent. Divine onslaught. The blades sliced through the air, striking true. Sasuke moved to the side, channeling his chakra into a powerful Chidori, ready to pierce through Manda's defenses. I won't let you get away this time, he yelled, charging forward. Sakura, seeing her chance, joined in with her own attacks. Cherry Blossom Impact. She focused her chakra into a series of swift, powerful strikes aimed at the vulnerable spots of Manda. The arena erupted once more into chaos, the battle reaching new heights as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura combined their strengths against Orochimaru and his monstrous summon. They fought with everything they had, fueled by their desire to protect their home and each other. As they pressed on, Naruto could feel the power of Gilgamesh guiding him, pushing him beyond his limits. He was no longer just a boy seeking acknowledgement, he was a warrior, a protector, and he would do whatever it took to save his friends and village from the darkness that threatened to consume them. Let's go! Naruto shouted, a fierce fire igniting in his eyes as they prepared for the final showdown against Orochimaru and his beast. The arena pulsed with energy as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura faced off against the colossal Manda and Orochimaru. Each of them could feel the weight of the battle pressing down on them. But the determination in their hearts ignited a flame that refused to be extinguished. The time for hesitation was over. They had to fight as one to overcome this formidable foe. Stick together, Sasuke commanded, his eyes sharp as he focused on Manda, which coiled and prepared to strike again. We can't let Orochimaru's snake separate us, right? Sakura replied, her fists clenched, ready to unleash her own jutsu. I'll back you up, Naruto. Just say the word. Naruto nodded, channeling the immense power of Gilgamesh coursing through him. He could feel the energy pulsing around him, urging him to unleash everything he had. Let's do this. As Manda lunged forward, fangs bared, Naruto summoned an array of golden weapons from the Gate of Babylon. Divine Onslaught. He released a barrage of blades, aimed directly at the serpent, striking it in mid-lunge. The weapons pierced through Manda's scales, drawing forth shrieks of fury from the creature. Sasuke seized the opportunity. Now, Chidori. He charged forward, using his lightning-infused attack to strike at Manda's underbelly. The impact echoed through the arena as electricity coursed through the beast, making it recoil in pain. Keep going, Naruto shouted, readying another wave of weapons. He felt a surge of adrenaline, igniting his resolve. We won't let him win. But Orochimaru wasn't finished yet. With a flick of his wrist, he summoned more snakes, their bodies twisting and writhing as they lunged at the trio. You think this will stop me? I have plenty more where that came from. Watch out, Sakura yelled, forming a protective barrier with her chakra. I'll cover you. As the snakes charged, Sakura unleashed her own jutsu, Tsunade's strength. With a swift motion, she struck the ground, creating a shockwave that sent the nearest snakes flying. We can't let them overwhelm us. Keep up the pressure, Sasuke called out, dodging another snake's attack. Naruto, let's finish Manda first. Got it. Naruto focused once more, gathering his chakra. Divine Onslaught. He unleashed another torrent of weapons, the golden blades soaring through the air and striking Manda with relentless precision. But Orochimaru was quick to react. You're persistent. I'll give you that, he sneered, his eyes narrowing as he prepared to unleash his own jutsu. But this ends now. With a sweeping motion of his hand, the shadows around them began to pulse with dark energy. The atmosphere shifted as Orochimaru prepared to summon a more powerful form of Manda, one that would be unstoppable. Don't let him, Sasuke shouted, panic seeping into his voice. We need to interrupt him. Let's go, Naruto shouted, rushing forward. He could feel the essence of Gilgamesh guiding him, pushing him to unleash his full potential. As Orochimaru began to chant, the ground beneath their feet trembled. You'll witness true power, he declared, summoning forth a massive serpent that dwarfed Manda. Get ready, Sasuke yelled, his voice strained as he prepared to charge Orochimaru. We have to finish this before he completes the jutsu. Naruto felt the weight of the situation pressing down on him. I won't let you do this. He summoned more weapons, surrounding himself with a dazzling array of divine tools. This ends here. With a roar, the giant serpent emerged, its eyes gleaming with malevolence. Orochimaru grinned wickedly, watching as Naruto and his friends prepared for the inevitable clash. The arena erupted into chaos once more as Naruto unleashed his weapons at the new monstrous serpent. Divine Onslaught. The blades sliced through the air, striking true against the creature's massive form. But the giant serpent was unfazed, its scales shimmering as it charged forward, intent on crushing the trio. You think your tricks will work against me? Orochimaru laughed, reveling in the chaos. Stay focused, Sasuke shouted, dodging the serpent's massive jaws. We need to keep attacking. Sakura, meanwhile, had been focusing her chakra, readying her most powerful healing technique. I'll heal us if we take damage, she called out, trying to keep morale high amidst the chaos. Thanks, Sakura, Naruto replied, his determination unwavering. We'll win this together. As the giant serpent lunged at them, Naruto charged forward with all his might. Ready to engage. Rasengan. He thrust the attack forward, aiming directly for the serpent's open jaws. Sasuke, seeing the opening, followed suit. Chidori. He charged in, aiming for the serpent's vulnerable spots, while Sakura launched kunai to distract Orochimaru. The attacks collided with the serpent, creating a massive explosion that shook the arena. The ground trembled as they unleashed their combined strength against the monstrous creature. But Orochimaru was relentless. "You'll regret challenging me," he shouted, his eyes glinting with malice. "I will not be defeated by mere children." As the smoke cleared, the giant serpent seemed to recover, its eyes narrowing as it prepared for another attack. "Get ready," Naruto yelled, summoning even more weapons from the Gate of Babylon. Divine Onslaught. He unleashed another barrage of weapons, aiming directly at Orochimaru, who was still chanting his dark incantation. "This is the end for you," Naruto shouted, his voice echoing with resolve. The blade struck Orochimaru's dark barrier, and he staggered back, surprise flickering across his face. "What? How is this possible?" "Now," Sasuke shouted, seizing the moment. "Let's finish this." With a powerful leap, Naruto surged forward, channeling the essence of Gilgamesh into his Rasengan. "Rasengan!" he yelled, aiming directly for Orochimaru. The rogue shinobi's eyes widened in realization, and he attempted to evade, but it was too late. Naruto's attack collided with Orochimaru, creating a massive explosion that lit up the arena. The dust settled slowly, and as the smoke cleared, Naruto stood victorious, panting heavily. "Did we do it?" he asked, glancing at his teammates. "I think so," Sakura replied, her eyes wide with disbelief. "But we have to be careful. He could still come back." Sasuke narrowed his eyes, scanning the area for any sign of Orochimaru. "He's crafty. We can't let our guard down." Just then, the ground trembled once more, and a low, mocking laughter echoed through the arena. "You think you've defeated me?" Orochimaru's voice rang out, chilling them to their cores. "We'll finish this," Naruto shouted, his resolve stronger than ever. "We won't let you hurt anyone else. Foolish children," Orochimaru taunted, his voice dripping with malice. "I will always return. This isn't the end." With that, the shadows enveloped him, and in a flash, he vanished, leaving behind a lingering sense of dread in the air. As the arena fell silent, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura exchanged weary glances. They had fought valiantly, but the battle was far from over. Orochimaru was still out there, a lurking threat that would continue to haunt them. "We need to regroup and strategize," Sasuke said, breathing heavily. "This isn't over yet, right?" Naruto replied, determination etched on his face. "We'll get stronger, and next time, we'll end this once and for all." With renewed resolve, they prepared to leave the battlefield, knowing that the next confrontation with Orochimaru would be even more challenging. But together, they were unstoppable. They would face whatever darkness awaited them, united in their mission to protect their home and each other. The sun began to rise on the horizon, casting a golden hue over the battered arena where the fierce battle had just taken place. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stood together, their bodies weary but their spirits unbroken. The echoes of their struggle lingered in the air, a constant reminder of the fight they had just endured against Orochimaru and his monstrous serpent. As they made their way back to the Hidden Leaf Village, the trio felt the weight of their experiences weighing heavily upon them. Each step they took was marked by both the adrenaline of victory and the sobering reality that their fight against darkness was far from over. "Do you think he'll come back?" Sakura asked, her voice tinged with concern as she glanced at her friends. "Orochimaru has always managed to evade capture." Naruto clenched his fists, the memories of their battle still fresh in his mind. "He will. But we'll be ready next time. We've grown stronger, and we can face him together." "Together," Sasuke echoed, nodding in agreement. "But we need to train harder. He's a dangerous enemy, and we can't underestimate him again." As they approached the village, Naruto's thoughts drifted back to the power of Gilgamesh. He had tapped into something immense, But he knew that with great power came great responsibility. He had to learn to wield it wisely. We should focus on mastering our techniques, Naruto suggested. I want to be able to control the weapons better and use them more effectively in battle. Sakura smiled, admiration shining in her eyes. You did great out there, Naruto. I can't believe how powerful you've become. Yeah. It was awesome, Sasuke added, a rare grin breaking through his usually stoic demeanor. But we still have a long way to go. As they entered the village, the familiar sights and sounds brought a sense of comfort and belonging. The sun's warm rays enveloped them, and the bustling streets were filled with villagers going about their daily lives. The trio felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were part of something greater. Their sensei, Kakashi Hitaki, awaited them at the entrance, leaning casually against a nearby wall. His ever-present eye smile showed his approval, though his gaze turned serious as he assessed the trio's condition. I heard you had quite the battle, Kakashi said, his tone neutral yet inquisitive. How did it go? We defeated Orochimaru, Naruto declared proudly. His chest puffed out. But he escaped again. Kakashi nodded, a thoughtful expression crossing his face. It seems he's always one step ahead. We'll need to keep a close watch on him. His ambitions are far from over. Sasuke's expression hardened. Next time, we'll be ready. We won't let him escape again. Exactly, Naruto added, a determined fire igniting in his eyes. We'll train harder and become stronger. Kakashi smiled faintly, recognizing the unwavering spirit in his students. That's the attitude. But remember, it's not just about strength. You need to work together, trust each other, and support one another. Trust, Sakura echoed, her eyes thoughtful. That's what makes us a team. Right. Naruto exclaimed, pumping his fist into the air. Our bonds make us stronger. As they walked further into the village, they saw familiar faces, friends who had supported them throughout their journey. Their sense of camaraderie deepened, and they could feel the strength of their relationship surrounding them like an invisible shield. After a brief discussion, they decided to meet up later at their usual training ground. Each of them had specific goals they wanted to achieve in their training, and they were excited to share ideas and techniques. Later that afternoon, the sun hung high in the sky, casting long shadows over the training ground. Naruto stood in the center, surrounded by the weapons from the Gate of Babylon, ready to begin their training session. Okay, everyone, let's get started, he shouted, enthusiasm bubbling in his chest. I want to practice my weapon control. Sakura, you can help me with that, right? Of course, Sakura replied, stepping forward. Let's see how you manage your techniques. Sasuke, leaning against a tree, observed quietly, his gaze fixed on Naruto. We'll need to find a way to combine our techniques. If we can synchronize our jutsu, we'll have a better chance against Orochimaru next time. Naruto nodded vigorously. I'm all for it. Let's create something powerful together. As they trained, Naruto focused on mastering the flow of chakra necessary to wield the divine weapons. He visualized each attack, trying to anticipate their trajectory and ensure he could control their movements precisely. Concentrate, Naruto. Feel the energy flowing through you, Sakura encouraged, watching as he summoned the weapons one by one, making them dance around him like a golden halo. Right? I can do this, Naruto shouted, channeling his chakra with determination. He summoned several blades, directing them to fly around him while maintaining complete control. Sasuke stepped in to offer advice. Try to visualize the path you want them to take. It's all about precision. Got it. Naruto focused intently, imagining each weapon's movement. He directed them through a series of formations, attempting to form a shield that could protect his teammates. Great. Now try to redirect them quickly, Sakura instructed, her excitement palpable. With newfound confidence, Naruto maneuvered the weapons, redirecting them in swift arcs. They glimmered in the sunlight as they danced through the air, forming a protective barrier around Sakura and Sasuke. Awesome, Naruto. You're really getting the hang of it. Sakura cheered, her face lighting up with encouragement. Sasuke smirked, nodding in approval. You're improving faster than I expected. Keep it up. Encouraged by their praise, Naruto continued to practice, pushing himself to master the flow of chakra and refine his techniques. The hours passed, filled with laughter, encouragement, and the relentless pursuit of improvement. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, they took a break, sitting together on the grass. The camaraderie they shared felt stronger than ever, and each of them reflected on the bonds they had forged. "Hey, guys," Naruto said, breaking the comfortable silence. "No matter what happens, I'm glad we're in this together." "Yeah," Sakura replied, a soft smile on her face. "I wouldn't want to face any of this with anyone else." Sasuke, usually more reserved, nodded in agreement. "We're stronger together. That's what matters." Their hearts filled with determination as they sat under the fading light, knowing that the battles ahead would be tough. But together, they could face anything. Their bond was unbreakable, forged in the fires of their experiences, and they would rise to any challenge that awaited them. With a newfound sense of purpose, they returned to their training, ready to hone their skills and prepare for the next inevitable confrontation with Orochimaru. The days passed quickly as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura continued their rigorous training, pushing themselves to grow stronger with each session. The bonds between them deepened, forged through shared struggles and victories. But while they focused on their growth, a new threat began to emerge, one that would test their resolve like never before. Rumors of strange occurrences had begun to circulate throughout the Hidden Leaf Village. Disappearances of villagers and sightings of mysterious figures in the forest surrounding the village sent a wave of unease through the community. The three friends were often approached by villagers seeking answers, their concern palpable. One evening, after a long day of training, the trio gathered at their usual spot by the Hokage's office, where they often met to discuss their missions and plans. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the village. "I heard from my dad that some villagers have gone missing," Naruto said, concern etched on his face. "We need to do something about this." Sasuke leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "If there's a threat, we need to investigate it. We can't let fear take hold of the village." Sakura nodded, her expression serious. "We should report this to Kakashi-sensei and see if he has any leads on what's happening." Just then, Kakashi approached, his usual relaxed demeanor shifting as he noted the tension in the air. "I see you three are discussing something important. What's going on?" Naruto quickly recounted the rumors of the disappearances and the villagers' concerns. "We need to do something. We can't just let this continue." Kakashi listened attentively, his expression thoughtful. "I've heard similar reports. The village has been on edge, and I believe it's time for us to investigate these rumors. Let's head into the forest and see if we can find any clues," Sasuke suggested, his eyes narrowing with determination. "We'll start tonight." "Agreed. But we need to be careful," Kakashi cautioned, his tone serious. "We don't know what we're up against." As night fell, the four of them prepared for the mission. Armed with their respective weapons and jutsu, they set out into the darkened forest, their senses heightened as they moved cautiously through the shadows. The atmosphere was thick with tension, and the sound of rustling leaves echoed ominously around them. Naruto led the way, using his enhanced senses to detect any signs of danger. "Stay close, everyone. If anything happens, we stick together," he instructed, glancing back at his friends. Sakura walked beside him, her expression resolute. "We'll figure this out. We always do." Sasuke, scanning the surroundings, added, "We need to look for anything unusual. If there are tracks or signs of a struggle, we'll follow them." As they ventured deeper into the forest, the trees loomed tall, casting eerie shadows that danced in the moonlight. Suddenly, Naruto caught a glimpse of something out of the ordinary, a faint trail leading off the main path. "Over here," he called, pointing to the tracks in the underbrush. "I think I found something." The group gathered around the area, inspecting the ground closely. The tracks seemed to lead deeper into the forest, away from the village. "This looks fresh," Sasuke noted, narrowing his eyes. "We should follow it." With determination, they proceeded along the trail, each step bringing them closer to uncovering the mystery. The deeper they went, the more the tension in the air seemed to thicken. An unsettling feeling gnawed at Naruto's gut, urging him to be on high alert. After a while, they reached a clearing where the trees parted, revealing a hidden glade illuminated by moonlight. In the center stood an ominous altar, covered in strange markings and surrounded by flickering torches. The atmosphere was charged with dark energy, and a sense of foreboding washed over them. "This place feels wrong," Sakura whispered, her instincts screaming at her to turn back. Kakashi scanned the surroundings, his eyes narrowing. "This could be where the disappearances are linked. We need to investigate further. But we must be cautious." Just then, they heard a rustling noise from the bushes nearby. All four of them tensed, ready for a fight. From the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in dark robes, their face obscured. "Who are you?" Naruto demanded, stepping forward with confidence. "What are you doing here?" The figure chuckled darkly, a chilling sound that echoed in the clearing. "You're brave to come here, little shinobi. But you're far too late. The rituals have already begun." "Rituals?" Sasuke echoed, his eyes narrowing. "What kind of rituals?" "The kind that will awaken the true power of the Ancient Ones," the figure replied, their voice dripping with malice. "And you'll serve as the perfect offerings. Not if we have anything to say about it." Naruto shouted, his resolve igniting. "We won't let you harm anyone else." As the figure stepped forward, they revealed a twisted smile, their eyes gleaming with dark energy. "You think you can stop us? You're nothing but children playing at being heroes." Kakashi took a step forward, his demeanor shifting to one of authority. "You may have power, but we've faced greater threats than you. We won't back down. Let's see if you can back it up," the figure hissed, raising their hands to summon dark energy. With a sudden burst, they unleashed a wave of shadowy tendrils that shot toward the group. "Watch out!" Naruto yelled, summoning weapons from the Gate of Babylon. Divine Onslaught. He launched the weapons, cutting through the dark tendrils and clearing a path for his teammates. "We need to fight back." Sasuke charged in, ready to unleash his Chidori. "I'll distract them." Sakura. Naruto. "Focus on attacking." "Right." Sakura replied, her hands glowing with healing chakra as she prepared to assist if anyone got injured. The figure unleashed more dark energy, laughing maniacally as they conjured several shadowy clones that surrounded the group. "You'll fall one by one. This power will consume you. Don't let them divide us." Naruto shouted, launching his weapons to take down the clones. "Stick together." As they fought, Naruto felt the power of Gilgamesh surging within him, urging him to push beyond his limits. "I won't let you win," he declared, channeling his chakra into a massive Rasengan, surrounding it with golden energy. Rasengan. He charged forward, striking at the nearest clone, the explosion sending shockwaves through the clearing. Sasuke used the chaos to his advantage, darting between clones with lethal precision. "Chidori!" he shouted, unleashing his attack on another enemy. "We'll take you down." Sakura joined the fray, using her healing jutsu to mend any wounds as she fought, determined to protect her friends. But the figure only laughed, their twisted energy growing stronger. "You're strong. But you'll never be strong enough to stop what's coming." With a powerful gesture, they summoned more tendrils, enveloping the clearing in darkness. "Prepare to meet your end." Just then, Naruto felt an overwhelming surge of power within him, the essence of Gilgamesh urging him to unleash his full potential. "No, this isn't over." He summoned the Gate of Babylon, golden weapons pouring forth like a torrent as he prepared for his ultimate attack. "Divine Onslaught!" he roared, launching an entire arsenal at the figure, each weapon glowing with divine energy. The attack struck true, engulfing the dark figure in a blinding explosion. The clearing trembled as the shockwaves spread, sending the clones flying and scattering the dark energy. As the dust settled, the figure emerged from the wreckage, panting but still standing. "You may have hurt me, but it won't be enough. The Ancient Ones will rise, and you will serve them. We'll never serve anyone." Naruto shouted, determination fueling his voice. "We'll protect our village." With a fierce resolve, they charged forward, ready to face whatever darkness awaited them. This was just the beginning of a new battle, and they were ready to fight for their home, their bonds, and their future. The aftermath of the battle left the clearing in disarray. The once ominous altar now reduced to rubble. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi stood amidst the wreckage, breathing heavily as they processed what had just transpired. The dark figure had vanished into the shadows, leaving behind only echoes of their sinister intentions. "Are you all right?" Kakashi asked, scanning each of them for injuries. His voice was calm, but the concern in his eye was evident. "I'm fine," Naruto replied, though he felt a lingering exhaustion. "That was intense." Sakura nodded, her gaze focused on the ruins. "What do you think they meant by the Ancient Ones? This is starting to feel like a bigger threat than we anticipated." Sasuke crossed his arms, deep in thought. "It seems like we've only scratched the surface. We need to gather more information about this cult and what they're planning." Kakashi agreed. "We should return to the village and report our findings. The Hokage needs to know about this." As they made their way back, the weight of their encounter hung heavy in the air. Each step felt heavier than the last as they exited the forest. The village lights flickering in the distance. The vibrant life of the hidden leaf contrasted sharply with the darkness they had just faced. Upon their return, they found Tsunade in the Hokage's office, poring over scrolls and reports. She looked up as they entered, her expression shifting from concern to relief. "You're back. What did you find?" Naruto stepped forward, recounting the details of their battle and the dark figure's cryptic words. They mentioned something about ancient ones and rituals. It sounded like they were planning something dangerous. Tsunade listened intently, her brow furrowing. "We can't allow this threat to go unchecked. If they're targeting the village, we need to gather intelligence and act quickly. Should we send out a search party?" Sakura asked, eager to contribute. "There might be clues left behind." "Definitely," Tsunade replied. "We need to find out more about this cult and their connections to Orochimaru." As the group discussed their next steps, Naruto's mind raced with thoughts about Gilgamesh and the power he wielded. He had barely tapped into its true potential, yet even now, he could feel the lingering presence of ancient energy within him. He had to understand it better if he was to protect his friends and the village. "Let's meet back here tomorrow to discuss our plans," Kakashi suggested, turning to the trio. "In the meantime, take the night to rest and recover." "Sounds good," Sasuke replied, his mind already focused on the training he needed to do. "We'll be ready for whatever comes next." As they left the Hokage's office, Naruto's thoughts turned inward. "I need to learn more about this power," he muttered to himself, determination welling up inside him. "If I can control it better, we'll have a greater chance of defeating whatever threat lies ahead." The following day, they gathered early at their training ground, the sun casting warm rays over the area. The air was filled with a sense of urgency as they prepared to train and strategize. "Today, I want to focus on honing my weapon control," Naruto declared, summoning a variety of weapons from the Gate of Babylon. "I need to become faster and more precise." Sakura and Sasuke exchanged glances, nodding in agreement. "We'll help you," Sasuke said, stepping forward. "We can work on our synchronization as well." "Right," Sakura added, her excitement evident. "Let's combine our techniques." As they trained, Naruto pushed himself to unleash the power of Gilgamesh. He summoned swords and spears, focusing on controlling their movements with grace and precision. He envisioned himself in battle, dodging attacks and retaliating with fluid strikes. "Focus, Naruto," Sasuke shouted, watching as Naruto struggled to maintain control over a barrage of weapons. "You need to picture the path of each weapon. Don't let them control you." "Got it," Naruto grunted, tightening his grip. "I won't give up." After hours of practice, they decided to take a break. As they sat under the shade of a tree, Sakura looked at Naruto with curiosity. "How does it feel to wield that kind of power?" "It's incredible," Naruto replied, a spark of excitement in his eyes. "But it's also overwhelming. I have to be careful. I don't want to lose control and hurt my friends." Sasuke nodded, understanding the weight of responsibility that came with such power. "We all have our burdens to bear. But together, we can face anything." Just then, a rustling in the bushes caught their attention. They turned to see a familiar figure emerging from the foliage. It was Shikamaru Nara, his expression serious as he approached them. "What's up?" Naruto asked, tilting his head. "You look like you've seen a ghost." Shikamaru sighed, running a hand through his messy hair. "I've been gathering information about the disappearances. We need to talk." "About what?" Sakura inquired, her interest piqued. "There have been reports of a group of rogue ninjas spotted near the outskirts of the village," Shikamaru explained, his voice low. "They're connected to the cult you encountered." "Rogue ninjas?" Sasuke echoed, his brow furrowing. "What are they planning?" "From what I've gathered, they're trying to resurrect an ancient being," Shikamaru replied, crossing his arms. "Something that could bring destruction to the entire village." Naruto felt a surge of determination. "We can't let that happen. We need to stop them before it's too late." Shikamaru nodded, a serious look on his face. "I knew you'd want to help. But we need a plan. If they're gathering strength, we can't afford to go in blindly." Kakashi appeared behind them, having overheard the conversation. "You're right, Shikamaru. We need to gather a larger team and formulate a strategy. This is no longer just about investigating. It's about protecting the village." The group quickly assembled a plan, focusing on gathering more intel about the rogue ninjas. They decided to split up into teams, with Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura taking one route while Kakashi and Shikamaru took another. As they prepared to leave, Naruto felt a surge of energy from the gate of Babylon. "I'm ready for whatever comes our way," he declared, his voice firm. "I won't let anything happen to the village." With newfound resolve, they set off into the unknown, determined to confront the darkness threatening their home. Each step echoed with purpose as they ventured deeper into the forest, prepared to face the shadows of the past and uncover the truth behind the cult's sinister plans. As Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura moved deeper into the forest, the atmosphere grew tense. The trees seemed to close in around them, their thick trunks blocking out the sunlight and casting eerie shadows on the ground. The earlier excitement had faded, replaced by a heavy sense of foreboding. "Stay alert," Sasuke warned, his eyes scanning their surroundings. "We don't know what we might encounter." "Right?" Naruto agreed, gripping the hilt of a sword he had summoned from the gate of Babylon. "We'll be ready for anything." Sakura walked beside him, her expression focused. "Do you really think they're trying to resurrect some ancient being?" "I don't know. But if they are, we can't let them succeed," Naruto replied, determination etched on his face. "Whatever it is, it sounds dangerous." As they continued, Shikamaru and Kakashi regrouped with them, having gathered crucial information from their own investigation. "We tracked some of the rogue ninjas to a cave system up ahead," Shikamaru informed them, his brow furrowed in concentration. "It's heavily guarded, so we need to approach carefully." Kakashi nodded, his usual calm demeanor in place. "We'll need to use stealth to get past the guards and find out what they're planning. This is a reconnaissance mission first and foremost." "Let's do it," Naruto said, feeling a rush of adrenaline. He was ready to take action, to confront whatever lay ahead. The group moved cautiously, blending into the shadows as they approached the entrance to the cave. A faint flickering light could be seen emanating from within, and the low murmur of voices echoed off the cave walls. They could sense the presence of multiple individuals gathered inside, the air thick with tension and anticipation. As they reached the entrance, Shikamaru pointed to the small gaps in the rocks, indicating where they could peek inside without being noticed. "Let's see what they're planning before we make our move." One by one, they took turns peering into the cave. What they saw sent chills down their spines. A gathering of rogue ninjas, clad in dark cloaks, encircling a large stone altar adorned with strange symbols. At the center of the altar lay a glowing artifact pulsating with energy, casting an ominous light throughout the cave. "Is that what they're trying to resurrect?" Sakura whispered, her voice barely audible. "Looks like it," Kakashi replied, a serious look on his face. "We need to find out what it is and how they plan to use it." As they watched, the leader of the rogue ninjas stepped forward, raising their arms to address the group. "The time has come. With this artifact, we will awaken the Ancient One. The power it grants will allow us to overthrow the shinobi world and create a new order." Naruto clenched his fists, anger boiling within him. "We can't let them do this." "Keep your voice down," Sasuke hissed, sensing the urgency. We need to remain undetected. The leader continued, oblivious to their presence. Prepare the ritual. Once the Ancient One awakens, our enemies will fall before us. Kakashi turned to the group, his expression serious. We need to disrupt the ritual before it begins. If they complete it, who knows what kind of monster we'll be dealing with. Agreed, Shikamaru said, strategizing quickly. We'll create a diversion. I can use my shadow jutsu to immobilize some of them, giving you a chance to get to the altar. Let's do it, Naruto affirmed, determination radiating from him. I'll be ready to attack as soon as we create that opening. They quickly devised a plan, each taking their designated roles. As they prepared, the air around them buzzed with energy, their shared resolve solidifying into a singular purpose. They would protect their village at all costs. Shikamaru moved silently, positioning himself to use his shadow jutsu. The others took their places, hidden behind rocks and boulders, waiting for the moment to strike. As soon as he felt ready, he unleashed his jutsu, sending his shadow creeping towards the gathered rogue ninjas. Now! Shikamaru shouted, his voice steady, as his shadow enveloped the first few rogue ninjas, immobilizing them. Chaos erupted within the cave. The other ninjas turned, confusion written on their faces. Attack! Naruto shouted, charging forward with a fierce battle cry. He summoned a barrage of weapons from the Gate of Babylon, launching them at the remaining rogues. Sasuke followed closely, his Sharingan activated, darting through the shadows to strike at the stunned opponents. Let's finish this quickly. Sakura joined the fray, using her exceptional strength to take down any rogue that got too close. The atmosphere was charged with energy as they fought together, working in perfect harmony. The rogue leader watched in horror as their plan unraveled before them. What are you doing? You'll ruin everything. We're stopping you, Naruto shouted, determination lighting his eyes. You're not going to awaken anything here. In the chaos, the glowing artifact began to pulse wildly, responding to the disturbance. The air grew thick with energy as the ritual was thrown into disarray. The ground shook, and cracks began to form around the altar. Focus on the artifact, Kakashi yelled, pushing his way through the battle. We need to destroy it before it's too late. As they fought their way toward the altar, the rogue ninjas began to regain their composure, launching counterattacks against the group. Shadows swirled, and dark energy crackled in the air, intensifying the danger around them. Naruto felt the power of Gilgamesh surging within him, urging him to unleash its true potential. I won't let this happen, he shouted, channeling energy into the weapons he summoned. Divine Onslaught. He launched a barrage of golden weapons toward the artifact, the strikes hitting their mark as the energy surrounding it flickered dangerously. Sasuke, cover me. Sasuke nodded, unleashing a powerful fire jutsu to keep the rogue ninjas at bay. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. The flames roared to life, forcing their enemies to retreat momentarily. With the way clear, Naruto charged forward. Reaching the altar, he could feel the immense energy radiating from the artifact, a palpable darkness threatening to escape. I won't let you take this power. He summoned all of his strength, focusing on the weapons around him. This ends now. With a mighty cry, he unleashed an explosion of energy, striking the artifact head-on. The impact was catastrophic. The cave trembled as the artifact shattered, sending shards of light and darkness spiraling through the air. The ground shook violently, and a blinding light erupted from the ruins of the altar. No! The rogue leader screamed, their plans disintegrating before them. The remaining rogues were thrown back by the force of the explosion, their faces filled with shock and despair. As the light faded, the cave fell silent, the only sound being the distant echo of crumbling stone. Naruto, panting and exhausted, glanced around at his friends. Did we do it? Kakashi nodded, a relieved smile on his face. We did. The threat has been neutralized. Shikamaru, still catching his breath, added. But we need to regroup. There may be more of them out there. As they emerged from the cave, the sun broke through the trees, illuminating the path ahead. Though the immediate threat had been dealt with, The reality of the situation weighed heavily on them. There were still forces at work that sought to disrupt their peace. Naruto looked at his friends, feeling a surge of gratitude. We did this together. No matter what comes next, we'll face it as a team. Together, Sasuke echoed, his eyes reflecting the determination they all felt. We won't back down. With renewed resolve, the group set off toward the village, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. They knew the road ahead would be difficult, but as long as they stood together, they could conquer any darkness that threatened their home. Back in the Hidden Leaf Village, a sense of calm settled over the bustling streets. Yet beneath the surface, an undercurrent of tension lingered. Word of the rogue ninjas and their failed ritual had spread, and the villagers buzzed with speculation and concern. The Hokage had called an emergency meeting to address the situation, gathering all available shinobi to discuss their next steps. As Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, and Shikamaru entered the conference room, the atmosphere was charged with urgency. Tsunade stood at the head of the table, flanked by several members of the village's leadership. Her expression was serious, reflecting the weight of the situation. Thank you all for coming, Tsunade began, her voice steady. We've received troubling reports regarding the rogue ninjas and their connections to a larger threat. We cannot afford to be complacent. As she spoke, Naruto felt a sense of unease creep over him. The aftermath of their recent battle had left him shaken, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was at play. Do we have any information on their numbers or whereabouts? Shikamaru asked, his brow furrowed in concentration. We need to know if they're regrouping or planning another attack. Tsunade nodded. Our scouts have reported increased activity near the outskirts of the village. It appears that a faction of the rogue ninjas is trying to regroup, possibly seeking revenge after the failure of their ritual. What are we going to do about it? Sakura asked, concern etched on her face. We can't let them strike again. We need to send out teams to monitor the area, Kakashi suggested. If they're trying to regroup, we can take advantage of that and gather more intelligence on their plans. Naruto's heart raced at the thought of taking action again. I want to go. I can use the Gate of Babylon to scout and gather intel. Tsunade considered his request, her gaze steady. While I appreciate your eagerness, Naruto, we need to be cautious. This could be a trap. We must send in a well-prepared team. I can go with him, Sasuke offered, his voice calm but resolute. With my Sharingan, I can help detect any hidden threats. And I'll come along too, Sakura added, her determination unwavering. I can provide support and keep both of you safe. Tsunade nodded, making quick notes. Very well. I'll assign you 3 to scout the outskirts. But remember, this isn't just about gathering information, it's about protecting the village. Stay alert. As the meeting continued, Naruto felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. The thought of confronting the rogue ninjas again sent adrenaline coursing through him. But he also understood the gravity of the situation. They had narrowly escaped a disaster, and he didn't want to let his village down. Once the meeting concluded, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura gathered their gear, ready for their mission. Let's make sure we're prepared for anything, Naruto said, determination burning in his chest. We can't let them catch us off guard. As they set out, the sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the landscape. The tranquility of the village was a stark contrast to the impending storm they felt brewing. As they approached the outskirts, Naruto felt a strange pull from the Gate of Babylon, as if the weapons within were sensing something ominous. Do you guys feel that? He asked, glancing at his teammates. Feel what? Sasuke replied, his expression cautious. I don't know. It's like a presence. Something is off, Naruto explained, trying to shake the uneasy feeling. We need to be careful. They moved silently through the trees, staying vigilant. The shadows grew longer as they reached the clearing where the rogue ninjas had last been spotted. The area was eerily quiet, the silence amplifying the sense of foreboding. Let's split up and scout the perimeter, Sakura suggested, her instincts kicking in. We can cover more ground that way. Naruto nodded, feeling a mix of anticipation and apprehension. I'll take this side, he said, gesturing to the right. Just signal if you see anything suspicious. As they separated, Naruto moved deeper into the woods, focusing on the sensations emanating from the gate of Babylon. He could feel a connection forming, a resonance that guided him forward. But as he ventured further, the ominous feeling intensified, prickling at the back of his mind. Suddenly, he heard voices up ahead. Peeking through the foliage, he spotted a group of rogue ninjas gathered in a small clearing, their expressions tense and serious. They were discussing something in hushed tones, and Naruto strained to catch their words. "Must find a way to awaken the Ancient One. We cannot fail again," one rogue ninja said, his voice laced with frustration. "But the last attempt was a disaster. We can't afford to lose more members," another replied, anxiety creeping into their tone. Naruto's heart raced. They were indeed planning something, and it was clear they were desperate. He pulled back, signaling to Sasuke and Sakura to regroup. When they met back at their designated spot, Naruto shared what he had overheard. "They're trying to awaken the Ancient One again. We have to stop them." Sasuke's expression hardened. "We can't let them have another chance. We need to disrupt their plans." Sakura nodded, her resolve firm. "Let's find out where they're hiding and alert the village. We can't let this escalate any further." As they continued their reconnaissance, they stumbled upon a series of caves hidden beneath the roots of ancient trees. The rogue ninjas had set up camp here, and Naruto's instincts screamed at him that this was the heart of their operations. "We need to take them by surprise," Sasuke whispered, his eyes narrowing as he surveyed the area. "If we can disrupt their plans here, we can prevent another ritual." As they prepared to launch their surprise attack, the ground beneath them began to tremble. "What is happening?" Sakura exclaimed, trying to maintain her balance. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows, one of the rogue ninjas, eyes glowing with a malevolent intensity. "You fools!" they shouted, their voice echoing in the cavern. "You walked straight into our trap." Before Naruto could react, the ground split open, and dark tendrils surged upward, grabbing hold of his teammates. "Sasuke! Sakura!" he shouted, watching in horror as they were pulled into the darkness. "Get off of us!" Sasuke shouted, struggling against the binding force. Naruto felt a surge of anger, his instincts kicking in. "I won't let you take them." He summoned a massive sword from the gate of Babylon, its golden light illuminating the darkened cave. With a fierce cry, he charged forward, slashing at the tendrils. Divine Sword Strike. The blade cut through the darkness, freeing Sakura and Sasuke from their binds. But as they regained their footing, the rogue ninja grinned maliciously. "You think you can stop us? We are not the ones who should fear you." From behind the rogue, several other figures emerged, their eyes glinting with malice. The rogue ninjas had been lying in wait, and now they outnumbered Naruto's team. "Let's show them the true power of the Ancient One," the rogue leader shouted, raising their arms to the sky. In that moment, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. Dark energy surged through the cave, swirling around them like a tempest. The shadows deepened, and Naruto could feel the weight of impending doom pressing down on him. "No!" Naruto yelled, determination burning in his heart. "We won't let you do this." He summoned more weapons, unleashing a barrage of divine swords toward the advancing rogue ninjas. "Get ready to fight," he shouted, rallying his friends. "We'll take them down together." As the battle commenced, Naruto could feel the power of Gilgamesh surging within him. He moved with agility, wielding the weapons with skill and precision. But the rogue ninjas fought back fiercely, their desperation fueling their strength. Sasuke activated his Sharingan, focusing on the nearest rogue. "We need to take out their leader first. They're the ones orchestrating this chaos." Sakura unleashed her strength, using her skills to keep the rogue ninjas at bay. "I'll help you with the others. We can't let them overwhelm us." As they fought, the rogue leader summoned dark energy, creating barriers that deflected Naruto's weapons. "You're too late. The Ancient One will rise again." But Naruto refused to back down. "Not if I can help it." With a surge of energy, he focused on summoning an immense spear from the gate of Babylon, its aura radiant and powerful. "Here it comes," he shouted, hurling the spear at the rogue leader with all his might. It soared through the air, cutting through the shadows like a beacon of hope. The spear struck true, colliding with the rogue leader and sending them crashing into the cave wall. The dark energy flickered, and for a moment, the oppressive atmosphere lifted. "Now's our chance," Sasuke shouted, charging forward to engage the remaining rogue ninjas. As the battle raged on, Naruto felt the tide beginning to turn in their favor. The rogue ninjas were disoriented, and their morale was waning. But he knew they had to finish this quickly before the rogue leader could regain their strength. With a final push, Naruto summoned an array of weapons, unleashing a torrent of energy that engulfed the remaining rogues. "Divine Wrath," he shouted, pouring all of his power into the attack. The resulting explosion sent shockwaves through the cave, knocking the remaining rogues off their feet. As the dust settled, the once menacing presence of the rogue ninjas lay defeated, their dark ambitions thwarted. Breathing heavily, Naruto turned to his friends. "Did we do it?" Sasuke nodded, panting but smiling. "For now, at least. But we need to make sure this threat is truly eliminated." Sakura glanced at the fallen rogue leader, who struggled to rise. "We should interrogate them. They might have information about their plans and other factions." As they approached, the rogue leader glared at them, eyes filled with venom. "You may have won this battle, but the war is far from over. You have no idea what forces you're dealing with." Naruto stepped forward, his gaze unwavering. "We'll do whatever it takes to protect our village. We won't let you or anyone else threaten our home again." With determination blazing in their hearts, they prepared to extract information from the rogue leader. The battle may have been won, but the threat lingered, and they knew they had to stay vigilant. As they set off to return to the village, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. Whispers of betrayal and darkness loomed on the horizon, and they would need to stand united to face whatever challenges awaited them.